What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sandlot Gaming and Dungeons and Dragons. Here we are playing session 14 of the Tomb of Annihilation. This week we are approaching the ruins of MBala, where we are supposed to recover something for our guide, who made this a condition of upon hiring her that we would take her here. So we are running in our party. We have a monk, a druid, a fighter, a wizard, and a bard, and we're kind of roaming through the jungle here. And let's jump into the channel and see what is going on. Yo.
Hey.
Yo.
Cool. All right. We're good to go.
So I think I figured out what the problem with my internet was / is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that so I had basically everything in our house was going through our 2.4 network. 2.4 gigahertz network.
Hello?
Yeah.
That included me having
Hey, Hillers.
PC.
Hey, there it is. Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
That's fine. Yeah, everything was going for the 2.4 gigahertz network portion of it. So I started moving everything over to the 5, like the laptops over to the 5 gigahertz one and letting our phones be on the 2.4.
Right.
But it doesn't look like my network card actually works on 5 gigahertz networks.
How old is your network card?
What is it?
How old is it?
I bought it on Amazon. I don't even know how old it is when I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get an updated router. The router I have is probably 9 years old, 8
Whoa.
years old.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's capable of a 100 megabit connection, but the frequencies and everything are now a little wacky. So
Yeah.
How old is the? I'm gonna use the word dual band. I don't know if that's accurate.
5 gigahertz.
Yeah, how old is that? How old is that?
Like 6-7 years now.
10 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it 10? Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a long time. If you guys are looking for new routers, get an Eero, EERO.
TP link, man.
is that compatible with putting into a coaxial? Like, can I use that?
Well, no, you would. Well, you would.
You come out of your
So
router.
it's a router, not a modem, right? So you'd
Right.
want to run the coax into your modem, and then run Ethernet from your modem into the router.
Right. Do you have any idea? Could I leave the? So I have a modem router thing from like FiOS, right?
Yeah.
It's possible to leave that in one location and then run another router to a different spot and then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Check out that link for the Eero that I just posted. It's a mesh network, so you can have a bunch of routers all over your house, and they just talk to each other.
How expensive is that?
It's like 400 for the starter pack, I think.
So, by the way, since we talked the other night, that contract on that house got ratified, and now we're scrambling to get our finances in order.
Nice.
So that's it's a much bigger house. So I'm gonna need something like this in order to get Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah, you got to plan that out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have this on 3 levels, and I don't have hard lines running to anything, and everything is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we also have a 1 gigabit connection. I can't trust you.
Well, I mean, the connections between the different devices are great.
Cool, man. I'm gonna bookmark this. I'll check it out later.
Who did we lose? We lost somebody.
Andy.
Andy?
No, we lost Andy.
No, I'm still here. I'm just eating, so I
yeah.
muted myself.
I want to eat too.
Well, okay. Mute yourself if you do. No one wants to do it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I cast Purify Food and Drink on this food.
We'll get started once Andy gets back.
Dude, I'm friggin' beat. Long weekend.
Yeah, man.
How so?
I went up to New York for a wedding. She got back like 20 minutes ago. Like, just crazy.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
I know. But the kids are actually at my mother-in-law's just because it would have been kind of a hassle to keep them up and then pick them up and bring them back. And so.
You unpack, Sarah. I have to go pretend to be a punchy monk.
It's not really much to unpack. It was like... but,
Sure, she'd love that.
Pretty much. She's actually probably just going to bed. We'll unpack tomorrow. So.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Andrew, as soon as I saw your text, I was like, tie a rope to me. No!
I wrote that and chuckled so much I had to read it to Lexi.
Flashbacks.
And, like I set up the story good enough so she could get context, and she was like, "That you're being a dick," and I was like, "It was funny. We laughed."
Are we not just gonna like walk up the path?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that. Apparently, there is a path up there.
Yeah.
And today, I will remember my very basic fighter skills. That was my lesson from last week's game.
What was your first
I
session?
really like the idea of you guys climbing the cliffs.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. That's a 5-aper right there.
I think Andrew said he wants to summon 16 little things though as we do it. So you're gonna have to keep track of those, Troy.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
he can. It's 1,800 feet tall, the cliff. So he can. How about we just space it out? He can summon one every 120 feet or so.
How high can an octopus climb?
Is it wet?
It's got 8 limbs. You know what I mean? That's at least
Technically
4
9
for
brains.
fighting. Yeah. I don't know if science has determined this yet.
Ugh.
They
I
should
heard
get on
about the
that.
scientific paper that was being published that quasi suggests that maybe octopuses might have come over on frozen eggs on a comet, and like apparently this paper is actually being like entertained as science at the moment.
Frozen octopus. How would frozen octopus eggs get on a comet in the first place?
Well, so if it was on a chunk of planet that exploded, and then it went careening through space and then collided with us.
Do octopus eggs not die?
Apparently not. According to this and some other quick Googling, they can be frozen.
How else would octopi get here, Hillers?
It's octopuses is the plural.
Fair.
I was so disappointed to learn that.
It's not octopi?
No, it's octopuses.
That's
Everything
BS.
I've learned is a lie.
If there's anything I learned from Edge and Christian, it's that they're octopodes.
Octopodes.
Nice crotch shot there, Nick.
Holy shit. Can I rely on nothing? Is my whole world built on deceit?
Did you just Google plural?
Yes!
octopus?
I was like, that can't be right, but it is.
Between the Tyrannosaurus being made of fur and squawking, or feathers and squawking.
Yeah,
Wait,
it was
are you lighting a
feathers
mood
and,
candle?
and like mooing.
If by mood you mean bourbon candle, yes.
I mean, is not a bourbon a mood?
It is in this. It is in this house.
So
Mood I'm in
before
frequently.
we get into it, Division 2 looks good, Hillers.
Oh, did you see the video?
Mm-mm.
They're in the
It
botanical
does look
gardens,
good.
and they come out, and there's a crash plane, and they're fighting through the plane, and then they go over a wall and storm the Capitol. I was like, yes, all of those things.
Can we play it on PC?
It does look good.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
They said Division 2, and I'm like, I'm in. I don't care.
totally pumped. And
So-
and they quick show the map, and it's like all the neighborhoods where I know like where I'm going. I'm like, yes.
Well, like I'm super excited if that they'll pay as much detail to DC as they do New York, because that would be great.
If you guys
I'll
are
finally
looking
learn
for
my way
me,
around DC.
I'll show you where all the Department of Transportation offices are. Those will be my hideouts. Hi, Sarah.
Hiller says hi. I'm not muted.
Tell her
I
I
don't
need
wanna-
mana.
Hi, Hiller.
He says he needs mana.
I need mana.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
do
we
that.
got you.
Yep.
Hillers,
All right.
can you please your profile picture so that you don't look so confused?
That's how I look in my daily life. That's my face. I'll look for one or try to take one, I guess.
I'll do. Well, next time we hang out, I'll
Like
do,
Mike's
I'll do a
mom,
head
and
job.
she's like, "How do I work this camera?"
Yeah, that's exactly. You look like trying to talk to my parents on FaceTime. That's how they look.
All right. Yeah, I'll try to find one.
You don't have to keep this.
If I don't close it, you're gonna yell at me for being too loud.
You're right.
Well, you're gonna close it as you.
Bye, Sarah. I don't care if you're leaving or not. I'm just telling you bye.
One day
All right.
we will be separated.
All right, I think we got everybody. So, you guys ready to get started?
Yeah, we're good, man.
I'm at 50 megs download right now, guys.
Whoa!
Nice.
Look out,
Considering what it
2007.
was on Friday.
All right. So actually, Nick, why don't you give us the recap? I think it's been a while since you did one.
Yeah, give me 1 second to finish logging in here, and I will be right on that. But I believe that the way that it all played out is that the party, while working its way southwest, which is the opposite of northeast, was making its way to insert name of city now. What was the name of the place that we're heading towards?
MBala.
MBala.
We were
Ooh,
heading up to
Andrew.
MBala, and that during our
Andy,
adventure, we kept up. We camped out for an evening, only to be attacked by giant white 4-limbed goros.
Gorillons.
Gorillas. Which the party known formerly
Shark
known
gorilla.
as the Flames of Tressendar were able to quite easily vanquish. A little bit of damage here and there, but they were able to successfully navigate the.
Wouldn't say it was that easy.
Dangers. Well, I'm the one giving the story. Squawk's the one telling the story, so maybe you should just shut your mouth.
That's a fair point.
The party, after licking their wounds and tending to the fallen recto, they have made it to the base of a mountain, and they are getting ready to proceed to climb up to ascend the mountain to insert city name here. Did I miss it? I mean, Kabal, yes.
MBala.
Mbal.
Like Mbop.
MBala.
Kabal is from Division. Destiny. Too many D's.
All right, good.
That's about. I mean, aside from the Mbala mix-up, but Mbala. I was trying to do an Mbop joke. That didn't work.
Rarely does.
We also there was also that clearing thing that we did that we avoided.
It has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not a major detail, but
Yeah.
If this was the Star Wars crawler, the party found a clearing. ...
And then they walked all the way around it, staying 200 feet away at all times.
yeah.
Good. And look at that. We have a fifth camera.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yeah,
Dug
that's
out
a
my
pretty
camera.
sharp camera there.
You're the only one, Hillers.
Hillers, you're
Give
up
me a
next.
couple of minutes. I'm
Dark.
finding another picture of my face.
Oh God.
All right. So it's day 14 of your expedition. We don't have everybody in roll 20, by the way. Hillers.
Oh, that'd be me. That'd
Yeah,
be me.
Yeah, guilty. Again. I am not doing well today. Let's
Have you been drinking today?
No,
Keep in mind.
when I was
I
with
know.
you,
I know the truth.
you watched me drink. Yeah.
Keep in mind, I watched you drink.
Is that creepy, or were you guys hanging out?
Nope.
No, yeah. I was in my apartment. He was just had his face in the window.
Ah, so normal Sunday.
Is that creepy?
You know, normal Sunday.
That's something you're into, Nick?
You and Sarah haven't seemed to mind.
Uh-oh. What else have you seen?
All right. Is everybody in and loaded up in Roll20? Is it doing the very slow load of the map properly?
Yeah, it takes a minute.
Well,
It
too
does.
bad that map's like 20 gigs, so Meg's not.
All right.
It might be
So,
gigs.
so about midday, you guys finally reach the foot of the plateau. You look up, and it just towers before you. You have to kind of crane your neck all the way back, and you still can't see the top. You're too close to it now. But as you were approaching it, you saw that it was nearly 2,000 feet high. This is absolutely enormous. Nothing like it on the Sword Coast. There are kind of boulders strewn around the base of the plateau, where perhaps landslides in the past, or boulders just falling off the top. Who knows? But kind of litter around, so there's a bit of a clearing where the forest hasn't quite encroached all the way up to the plateau. And you do see a very narrow path that has been carved directly into the rock face of the cliff that you've approached, that leads towards the top. And Iku kind of brought you to this specific spot so that you could find this path up to the top of MBala. She tells you that this is the only path to the top of the plateau. That once upon a time it was heavily defended, but she doesn't believe anybody is left to defend it anymore. She also tells you that this is as far as she may go, that some sort of magic prevents her from reaching the top of the plateau.
She could have mentioned some guide. I can't actually take you there. That would have been good to know.
Well, she got you there. It depends on your definition of there. You could try.
Yeah.
So, the plateau at this point is actually blocking out quite a bit of the sun. It's already so high that it's 2 to 3 p.m. It's a few hours past noon. The sun has cleared out over the edge of the plateau. You're in a very long shadow right now. What do you do?
Are we at the base of the plateau?
You're at the base. You're maybe a few hundred feet
There
away
he
from
is.
the oh, look at that! Wow, all 6 cameras.
Really happening, boys.
You're welcome, internet.
You're
This is why
You
I don't
are-
take pictures.
You can find him on his exclusive Facebook page.
Please.
you are
don't.
as close. You are
That's
as
the
close
worst
to
place to
the
find
to the beginning of the path up the cliff as you would like to be.
And the path itself, is it completely? Is it like is there's like a drop off on one side, or is it like it's like a road wrapping around the plateau, or is it like a path straight up the middle with like no risk of like falling off the sides? No imminent risk,
So-
I guess, of falling off the sides.
You can
so-
find a way.
So there it is open on one side, and it does a switch back all the way up.
How many gorillons are on the path?
N-
You don't see it.
What are you guys looking at?
Any gorillons up
Oh,
there?
God, remember that? Up in the ceiling for like a minute, and the spider came down.
Just remember our new unit of measurement for difficulty.
The ape scale.
It's the ape scale.
And then
I've
the
been
last
using
question
that
is,
in my daily life, by the
Is
way.
there a canopy going over it, or is it just like like a completely? It's open.
Oh no,
like
there's no canopy at this
Which,
point.
which way
There's,
does the canopy open? Inward or outward?
convection concave.
What's it made of?
so Nick, this is 2,000 feet up. Like there's definitely no tree that would go above it.
But there could be trees on the path, I guess is what I was asking. Like it wasn't like.
Oh,
trees
no,
are going
no,
up with it. But if it's not, like I get it, like it's completely open. It's just going
I
up.
would
The
like
path
to
itself is-
Troy. I would like to npm install teleport to top of
yeah.
mountain.
Oh,
Well, you can
yeah,
try.
it out for me.
My audio. Can you hear Nick?
I hear
I
you.
don't think so, but the video is crystal clear.
I can hear him.
Hear everybody.
You
Yeah, I
hear
can
him?
hear him. I don't think he
hear-
can hear us.
Nick.
He said, "Oh crap, my audio cut out."
Oh. That's what we get
Is
for
there any
trying to have 6
wildlife
cameras.
around?
Nick, can you hear us?
Hello.
I think he can.
Nick, can you hear us? Hello.
It's weird that he's playing on his TV and he's like looking up and not at us.
All that investment in microphones. Should have been working on headphones. Isn't that ironic?
Don't you think?
Yeah, it's like Ray Ain on your wedding day.
Oh my God! Stop! No, not this.
All right.
didn't mean to
So,
make it a thing.
Troy,
We
you
don't
were
need
saying
another
something about the path. It's
So the path is really narrow. So from just the segment that you can see, it ranges between 2 and 4 feet wide.
so it's like Appalachian Trail style kind of deal. Like
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
But made out of rock, right? Because it's carved into the rock face, not
Okay.
not built from it.
Is there can we kind of see how it goes around? Can we give an estimate of the amount of time it would take to climb this by looking at it?
Yeah. So looking at it's I mean, gosh, it's probably about a mile of walking because it's obviously not a ladder straight up. It's back and forth.
Yeah,
It might even
yeah.
be more than a mile. So it's probably going to take you close to an hour, depending on the pace you want to try and tackle it at.
A mile to go an hour.
Is there any
An
wildlife?
hour to go a
around?
mile going up. So you've all the way kind of getting closer to the plateau. You did hear the sounds of monkeys, and you can
Oh,
continue
God.
to hear them now, but you don't see them.
always
Monkeys
monkeys.
or gorillas?
Monkeys. It's a much higher pitch sound than
Oh,
the sounds
monkeys
of
are friendly.
the
All right. Nah,
Did you
they're-
say
guttural
they're
sound
like-
those gorillas made.
I guess the last thing we do is I'll look over to Iku and say, is there anything else that we absolutely need to know before we start in here? Because this is where we part ways. And how do we find you when we get back?
She tells you that she'll make camp and at the bottom of this path, and she'll watch over any supplies that you'd like to leave behind, or she'll just wait for you. And she tells you that that you must be careful because whatever destroyed MBala and has placed the magical ward that prevents her from reaching the top, it must be very powerful.
Is there anything that she can
Super
find,
brilliant.
collect, or give us in the immediate area for our adventure?
Okay. She tells you that if you were willing to wait about an hour, she could look around and probably get some sort of salve together from some of the local plants that would cure poison.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I look around to the group. Do we want to wait for that?
We're definitely gonna get poisoned.
You're gonna have to worry about being poisoned. I don't have too much of a problem with
That's a
poison.
lock.
It's the jungle is filled with poison, and I
If you
can tell
guys-
you I get poisoned a fair bit.
Why don't I go? While if we have to wait around, why don't I go out and fly up a little bit and scout out the area ahead and try to get a lay of the land while we wait.
That'd be good.
That's fine. Just be super careful.
Hey, it's me. I'm gonna fly away.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
For a second there, I
I
was
just
like,
give a
I'll have
giant
the info,
exhale.
and then I go, oh god.
Well, it was fun
So
having him in the
Squawk,
party.
Yeah.
so Squawk could reach the top much quicker than an hour because you can basically go as a crow flies, right? So it'll probably take you 15, 20 minutes depending on
That's
how
okay.
quick you are. So you're going to go all the way up to the top? Is that the plan?
So what I want to do is more follow the trail as much I kind of want to do a little bit of a hybrid. Like I want to be able to just like scout up, but I kind of want to scout the trail that they're going to be walking a little bit just to get a lay of what they're going to be seeing.
Okay.
I want to be flying like 50 feet up, like saying like at least 50 feet to be able to stay close enough. And if I guess my vision is 50, whatever my vision is, to be able to like stay far enough away that my vision can see it, but not close enough that I'm going to be like in what I'm going to perceive as imminent danger. So a safe distance, and kind of fly around and just kind of scout out the path that we are gonna take, and just take notes of any kind of obstacles or anything that's going to happen over the course of climbing up this.
So are you just looking for like creatures and obstacles on the path? What is it that you're looking at the path for?
I want to get
Gorillons.
If I were, yes, I want to be on the lookout for like creatures and obstacles, but perhaps a better thing would be and also kind of like making a mental note of the map of what needs to be done, or the map of the path going up to MBala.
Okay, I mean, as you fly up, you see that the path has no branches. It's just kind of back and forth all the way up. So there's no danger of being lost. As you kind of ascend and fly up, you don't see any kinds of creatures. No major obstacles. You do see that parts of the path have chunked off and fallen apart, so it gets narrow in parts. But to the best of what you can see flying up, it looks passable.
Okay, and then one last thing, I guess, like as I'm looking out for, is there any spot that looks particularly dangerous, or like even though that might not be perceived a threat now, but that could potentially be a dangerous, like a good ambush spot? I guess is kind of what I'm looking out for as well.
What kind of ambush do you have in mind?
So what I'm thinking, what Nick is thinking is, which I guess Squawk would be on the lookout for this too, is something like something that looks like that would be like a quote unquote overturned cart that just so happens to be blocking this one specific area, and then goblins would jump out and attack us from the woods.
No, there's nothing like that. So just to like imagine you had a sheer face and you wanted to carve steps into it, right? You wouldn't push the steps out. You would basically just start to remove parts of the cliff, more at the top and less at the bottom, in a zigzag pattern, right? That's what you've got here, right? So you're kind of just walking up a narrow stone path with. I think that. Yeah, there's no room for like a cart, or there's no place from as you were ascending up and flying. There's no place for anybody to hide on the path.
Okay, and just like I don't know how much time I've been flying around, but if I can fly up a little bit further and just even get up to the crest of MBala and be able to see like, okay, well, this is where we're going to be.
Well, I think the plan was that the party was going to wait an hour, Iku, to put together a poultice, right? So is that correct? Are you're waiting at the bottom for Iku to do that?
Yeah.
I'm doing push-ups.
So you've got. So Squawk has plenty of time. So as you kind of approach the top of the path, I'd say flying a little off of the cliff, you see an old dilapidated gate. What seems like it was once a wooden gate to a large city wall. The gate seems to be one of the few things remaining. And go ahead and roll a perception check, Nick.
Okay. If I can get to there. There we go.
Okay, 19's your lowest anyway, though.
Jeez.
Thank you.
That's your passive.
Freaking bard.
And I did look up, by the way, that's actually a pretty official. That your passive is the minimum.
Okay.
So one of the things you notice is that the posts that stand at either side of the gate to hold up the it's not even a gate. There's no doors left, but the kind of whatever the name of the top of the gate, the bar that goes all the way across the top, the posts that hold that up seem to have almost been reinforced, or at least surrounded by skulls. Just a huge mound of them, several feet high.
That's a boneheaded idea.
Oh,
Wah, wah.
that's a groaner.
Okay. Do I perceive any? Okay. Do I perceive any? So there's the wall that's being reinforced. There's the posts that are being reinforced by the skulls. Is there any? If I fly a little bit close, I'll start flying a little bit closer. Do I guess, like, again? I'm still like cautiously flying closer. I guess. Is there any kind of writing on the walls or in the posts or anything?
You'd have to get really close to the posts to see that. These aren't huge, and they're in pretty bad shape. It does look like there's something carved on the rock face leading up to the gate.
Okay.
You don't see from the distance anything carved into the wooden posts.
Okay. What's beyond the wooden posts?
Beyond the wooden posts, you see the ruins of a town. It looks like quite a large town. Nearly every building has been completely leveled. In the distance, you see, and this is quite far from the gate, so it's you can just barely make it out. You see one small building that is standing. The rest have been destroyed.
And how for the single building that's standing, how far back is that from the goalpost or from the fence post?
Gate posts, yeah. 1,500-1,600 feet, pretty far back.
Okay. I'm not gonna.
This plateau, by the way, guys, is like multiple miles in radius. Like, this thing is huge.
Okay.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I'll fly around. I'll fly around. I don't want to go much further. So the posts, if I'm looking at the big map, the city or this lone building is which direction? North.
So keep in mind, in this map, all of what we're talking about is inside of the hex that you guys are currently on.
Okay, right, but I'm just telling you. So if it's okay, so but like the big building, like if the big building's north, if the standing building is north, I want to go like east and west. Like I guess I want to go perpendicular to it. I don't want to go parallel to it when I'm just kind of scouting out the area. Like I don't want to go much further closer to it. I kind of want to just get an area.
Okay. How far do you want to go? Because again, this plateau itself is, I don't know, probably 5 miles circumference, like, or possibly
it's
more.
Been like 15 minutes, right?
It took you about 15 minutes just to get to the top.
Well, all I've done is looked. All we've done now for the past like 3 minutes is just talk about what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, it took you about 15 minutes to get to the top, and then everything we've described you saw pretty much immediately upon getting to the top.
All right. I'll just kind of make it like I'll fly for about 5 minutes one direction, 5 minutes the other direction, and then come back.
Okay. In
5,
either
10, 15, and then another 15 to then another like 30 seconds to just not flap and fall.
Okay. So in either direction, what you see is just more ruined town. You do see that this was once a very large city.
Okay, so basically this was just a giant large city. This gate post seems to be the only entrance into it. It's dilapidated now, supported by skulls. There's a single building to the quote unquote north that's about a half a mile into the ruins, and the path leading up to it is pretty safe.
Yeah,
is the synopsis of is the summary.
That's right. That's right.
No, then that's cool. Okay, then when I fly back, like that's okay, guys. Well, it looks pretty safe to get to travel up here, and once we get up, the city looks kind of empty. So I think it's we'll have to just take our chances, but I think we should be fine.
Cool.
Thanks, Squawk. You're so great.
Thanks for the feedback. So we should be safe in a place that
wasn't thankful.
All right, pay up. Who thought he was going to be dead? Pay up.
All right. So about 10 minutes after Squawk returns and lets you know, so Iku returns and has a few plants in either hand. Looks like she was able to pick and scavenge what she needed. She's got a few strange kind of purple ferns. She's got a few white flowers and a heaping mass of moss of some kind. And she takes it and she has a poultice in her pack. She pulls it out, spends about 5 minutes mashing it up, puts some ointment or oil that she had in her pack in, rubs it together, and puts it into two little vials. And so you now have two salves for poison. She hands both of those to Roland, since you were the one that. Roland, since you asked about it.
I will thank her for her help and say hopefully we see it in a bit.
All right.
See you.
I'm gonna pass them out. I'm gonna pass just one out to Jason.
Okay.
And I will keep the other. What should we name these as, just so for reference in case we use them?
I would call it poison cure.
Antidote.
Fair enough.
Antidote. That's it.
Anti-venom.
What? Poison fixer-upper? Yes.
Can we not
Right.
call it a blind spot? Okay, the spot where your camera is.
I guess I should ask her. Is this something you eat? You rub on?
It's a suppository.
What do you do? Yeah, what do you do with this? Because if it's got to go in somewhere, I'm out.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Right back.
She tells you that ingesting it will work.
Great, thank you.
Up
right.
the path, guys.
So
Daylight's burning.
yeah, before we go though, I don't know how you like to do this, but I think we'd like to kind of roll up there as quietly and stealthily as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do a group stealth check.
Ugh. Sorry in advance.
Oh, this is what I'm waiting for.
You have disadvantage on these, right, Hillers?
I
And so before
I
you
have
guys
not
do this, so don't do it yet, because I want to explain something here. So assuming you guys are all going as a group, the way these group checks work is the group will get whatever effectively the lowest group check is.
Oh.
Right. Or you could separate, and then if you separate, then
Let's not
whoever
do that.
separates can get get whatever they roll. Right. It's kind of like the idea, like if you imagine you had a knight or a paladin with you who's clanking around in metal armor, the rest of you
leave him behind.
stealthy as fuck, but like.
Yeah, you have disadvantage on all stealth rolls, Hillers.
Delightful. Thanks for looking that up. I appreciate that. That was
Sure.
very helpful of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nick, everybody, with the possible exception of you, is rolling stealth right now because they want to go up stealthily. Look at that. You got to do it again though, Chris.
Hey.
Still good. Still good.
Nice.
I'll watch. I'm gonna fucking ruin this.
Oh. Hey, wait.
These are all pretty good.
I think if we're over a 15, that's pretty stealthy.
That's
Why
amazing.
is it rolling in?
So here's the question for me: Is Squawk walking up with everybody else, or
Squawk doesn't walk unless he absolutely has to.
Well, that's not very stealthy.
So I guess my question is like, I mean, from a role playing standpoint, if I'm going to roll a stealth check when I'm flying, is that like trying to coast as much as I can, like trying to float as much as I can without flapping my wings? Like,
You
is that,
duck
like, gliding
behind
in the
clouds
sun?
every once in a while and like tiptoe between the other clouds, like a cartoon. That's how that works.
Like what? I guess what would be a good role playing? I'm flying stealthily.
Well, why don't you tell me?
Caterpillar drive.
So I would say you tell me, and if you can't think of a way that you would do that,
You're the bird.
So I guess what I'll do is I'll just like fly. I guess what I'll just do is just like fly up high. I'll fly up as high as I can, kind of, and just to kind of provide overwatch, I guess, for their group, and just float around as much as I can in circles.
Okay, so how high above them are you going to be then?
100 feet.
Okay, so the group's climbing a 21 or 1,800 foot cliff, right? So if you're only going up 100 feet above them, I'm not sure that just flying high is a stealthy choice.
Okay, then I'm not flying. Then I'm not being. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you're basically be a big flag over us if you just. I mean, there's no point in being stealthy if a human-sized bird is 100 feet up. That's very apparent.
Like it's not like you're coming in from the clouds over top of the plateau, right?
Right.
Like you would still be coming up. Like it's not all that different from just walking up.
oh, true. As a matter of fact, it'd actually probably be the opposite of stealthy if I am actually above people and we're
Right.
ascending.
That's actually advanced warning for everything, everything up there.
Okay, yeah, Squawk will walk. Oh,
So sorry for you.
Okay.
Sorry for your hardship.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a stealth check then.
yeah, I will. Oh. For the good of the group.
Okay, not bad. All right.
So the lightest bones as the worst stealth roll.
Here's the next thing we're gonna do. We're gonna do a skill challenge, and some of you have been through this before. Nick, I don't think has. I think Nick, you're the only one that has not been through the
I
skill
was there.
challenge.
I watched. I saw.
Oh, you watched it on. Okay.
Well, I was
So-
there. Was they good at?
No. Well, yeah, that was a skill challenge. That's true. Yeah. I was thinking when we did the rapids. So this is a
That
pretty
went
easy
great.
one. So I'm just going to tell you what the DC is. The DC is going to be 13, which is pretty easy. And you got to get 3 successes before
would
you
you
get
say
3
that?
failures.
Okay.
Which is also pretty easy. So here's the way this is going to work. You guys are going to be climbing up the cliff face, and basically you're going to make 3 checks, and any of you can make any checks, but you can't use the same skill twice. Okay. Not just the same person, but like if Recto decides to use performance somehow, then Squawk can't also use performance, right?
So I have a question. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna say, I mean, just to make it more fun and interactive for us, do you want to make it's? Sorry, I mean, this is definitely a hey teacher moment. Do you want to make it like 5 checks, and each of us have to pass? Just so that way we can each do 1 check, whether we pass or not,
What?
it doesn't matter.
What are you doing? I
think I'll
need
stick
one.
with
Can we make the checks 18, please?
Yeah, I don't know. 13's high enough. How about 21?
Yeah, why
Well,
not?
there's 13, but there's 5 of us to make them. Like,
I don't need one. I'm fine. I'll pass.
So,
Yeah, I'll
I
make
hear
a
you. I hear you, Nick. This path is it's not perfect. It's
okay, that's fine. That's
got
no,
some.
fine.
It's got some.
Actually,
it's got some
if you
parts-
want my
it's got
check,
some
Squawk,
parts that
you
are
can have it.
broken. But
So
it's not the hardest path in the world, right? So
It's 3 checks by the party. It's not 3 checks each that we have to pass.
that's correct. 3 checks by the party before. Sorry. It's 3 successes before 3 failures. So it could be up to 5. It could be 5 checks, right?
All right.
So you guys start to climb the path, and we're gonna do a little bit of it's gonna be kind of some shared narrative here. So I'm not gonna necessarily present, unlike with Zigmundo, I'm not gonna present. Here's the obstacle you faced. I'll kind of do a general description of what it's like walking up this, and then you guys can say, I ran into such and such, and so I used this skill to get past it. Right?
Okay.
Does that make sense? So you're walking. So you're walking up the. It's pretty. It'd be comparable to walking up a staircase for us, although it's not stepped, right? So it's a pretty smooth face. There is there is gravel, there is soot, or not soot, but just kind of the fine-grained pieces of rock that have kind of eroded over time. So it can be slippery in parts. It's not perfect width the entire way up. It kind of comes in and out as parts of the cliff face have chipped away. You've got to every few minutes you've got to turn a corner and go up the switchback to go the other direction, and then switch back the other way every few minutes. From time to time, if somebody's up too far past you, if they step too hard, it'll send a little bit of rocks tumbling down. And you've got at least 30 minutes probably more like 45 minutes of this climb before you get before you approach that top. So
Okay.
let's
As we're
get
climbing up,
mhm.
as we start climbing, I want to start just pull up my viola and start playing "Rising Up, Back on Our Feet." In our
no.
time, took our chances.
Way to maintain this
Now
up.
we're back on our feet, just the truth and their will to survive. So I want to play the performance check and to inspire the team to keep on going and to be successful.
Okay, before you do that, Nick, I'll give you one other option here.
I
You can
just
do
tell you
Glad we're
how
stealthy.
inspired I am.
yeah, you can do a
Not much.
performance check. So Nick, you could do a performance check, or you could use a spell if there's a performance like bard spell that you would want to use for that. So that's something to keep in mind for Roland and Zig as well, is that spells can be used to pass checks if it makes sense.
Oh,
Ready.
I have one in mind.
Yeah, most
Or you can
of
just
mine
do
are
a performance check, Nick.
I'll just do a performance check.
So it's DC 13,
God,
which would be
this sucks.
cake for you with your performance.
Maybe.
Why would you say that?
All right,
Oh.
one success.
Oh.
So sorry.
So go ahead, Nick. You had something to do.
No, go ahead. Yeah, my head.
All right. So we're kind of building the narrative of how we're going to use ours to do our checks and everything. Is that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Let me try to think of the best.
I'll given the rocky terrain, I'll
I see what you did there.
sort of
Rocky. Yeah.
try to head up there, sort of scramble up, and then sort of assist people in the climb on the way up. Throwing a rope and pulling them up, and while I'm
Climb around the waist.
and I'll use athletics.
All right. Crushed it. All right.
As we get up to a very narrow point, gets down to a point where we really can't even walk foot in front of foot, I'd like to cast Mold Earth to have the ledge come out and give us a
Cool.
nice, easy platform over there. And I'd like to use the perception check to have noticed that I can take this big, large kind of shale rock and shift it out.
So here's a quick thing for you, Andy. So is that a cantrip or is that a spell?
It's a cantrip.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with that perception check. I like it.
So
Wow.
I moved it
all right.
really far. We
Damn!
skipped the rock.
Nice ordered stairs are now all the way up.
With the guardrail.
Oh shit! Compliance.
It's an escalator.
I say we do that. I say it actually, like, for one of the stretches, like between switchbacks, it now is like it's like a staircase, and it's got a pretty rough railing out of stone that's kind of come up out of it.
Jason looks impressed.
I'm
now wondering why I scrambled up there and was using ropes when he can just make stairs.
I just wanted to make you feel silly.
Yeah, no, it works.
With your ropes.
Yep. I do feel ridiculous. Well done.
Good. So you guys, as you approach the top of the plateau, the pathway itself kind of actually goes into the rock face, into a bit of a crevasse at the top. Not very far. And on either side of the crevasse, there are etchings, artwork. It kind of doesn't look that old, but it's old enough that it's started to wear out a bit. Built into that, and then up you can already see kind of up above past these are actually staircases. It's a staircase built into the stone through that crevasse, and then past that you can see just the top of the gate that Squawk told you about.
Any volunteers for this crevasse? No?
So we have to go over it?
I'm not hearing volunteers.
So we have to jump over it? Is that the deal?
No. So it's you can imagine, like, you've been on the side of the rock this whole time, like on the face of it. This is now cut into it, so like a slot, right? A staircase. It's not very long. It's about 15 feet up to the top, and then you're on top of the whole plateau.
Can we send the rubber chicken up through it?
Ooh. We won't be able to see anything on the way back, but we can send the rubber chicken.
What do you mean?
I can roll stealth and try to shimmy up there and see if we see. Yeah.
Give
Will
that a
stealth
shot.
save you from explosive doors?
Yeah, I'm just thinking if there's traps.
I'm
I have a high perception.
kind of thinking
though.
the chicken.
I got a 17 passive.
The best.
We have some rope and a chicken. We can just tie the rope to the chicken and throw it in.
Also check to see if there's if it starts glowing when you throw it in.
Wait,
That
just
would've
see-
started already.
Can we see what's at the end of the staircase? Or is it just the plateau?
Well, it's up, right? It's 15 feet long, roughly 15 feet up. So you can't really see what's above it, other than you can see.
There's not like
the
a
top
door
of
at the very top, which you would see at the
Oh
end.
no! This is just carved into rock, right? So at the top is just open sky, and then beyond that a bit of a gate.
Really.
We just gonna stand here all day? I'll start climbing.
No, I mean, do we want to do the chicken thing or no?
Well,
I don't know
whatever
if the
you-
chicken is gonna
guys
tell
just-
us much.
Yeah,
So does
well,
Jason start climbing the steps?
Sure.
Okay, he step, and he's standing at the top of a staircase, looking around, sees the plateau, and it's amazing. You can see dozens of miles in any direction right now. This might be the highest up you've ever been in your life, depending on what you've done. But for many people, they'll never reach this height.
He's
you can
been
see-
higher.
God,
You can
it's
see
so high.
the jungle
Much
to the
lower,
east. You
too.
can see distant mountains to the west. You can see the swamps to the south. You can see all around.
I lean over and tell the party, there's already chickens up here. And encourage them to come up. I seem unharmed, so.
I'll follow him up.
Sure,
Yeah, stop
yeah.
walking and fly up to catch it to catch him.
Okay.
I am no longer walking. I'm back to flying now.
Okay. And you're kind of just
Flying above, yeah. I'm like-
hovering. Yeah. All right. Does everybody go up?
Yeah, everybody, I'm up.
I am 10 feet above the party now.
I'm gonna hang back, I'm gonna hang back and wait for everybody else to get up there safely, and then once they're up there, I'll go up individually behind them. I just want to make sure
Okay,
they get
step,
through it
step,
okay
step,
as a group.
step. You guys are all at the top now. So you see what Squawk saw, which is what was once a grand gate, but is now completely decrepit. It's maybe only 20 feet away from you. If the gate doors, whatever they looked like once, they're gone. You don't know where they are. There are you can see some kind of bits of rusted iron wrapped around the gate, with might have been hinges once upon a time. Some straps of leather that you're not really sure what the purpose was. And then you do see these heaping piles of skulls around either post on either side of the gate. The skulls are completely picked clean of flesh. There's just bright white under the sun. Not much foliage to speak of up here. A little bit of brush here and there, but no trees, no grass, nothing like that. Loose stone, bit of sand, and that's
Okay.
it. And then beyond the gate, you see a wide, flattened ruin of what was once a very, very large settlement, possibly a city, and everything seems to have been destroyed. You do see one solitary building, very small building in the distance.
I'll
Are we super exposed where we're standing?
Yeah, this part of the plateau, it is you're standing on, a mile of just flat. Right? It's like being in the salt flats. You could be seen from very, very far away.
Are we still?
This isn't a big deal,
Are our
guys.
stealth rolls still active, or how would that work if we're trying to be? I mean, I guess if it's wide open, we can only be so
Yeah.
covert.
I've seen more skulls than this.
And
This
right
isn't
now-
such a big
And
deal.
just to go off what you were saying earlier, the sun now. Can we see the sun now that we're on the top of the plateau, or
You
is it
can.
starting to set?
You can. No, it's to the west, right? And it's not set yet. It's hovering just a little bit over the western edge of.
So it's like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 5, 6, 4 or 5.
Not that it matters. I'm just.
Does anyone know what we're actually looking for up here?
We don't. We weren't given a
Everybody's
whole
been
heck of a lot.
pretty vague.
Yeah, we just know it was the evil, basically.
All right, well, evil's not going to find itself.
We know
Yeah.
what we know is
Rolling?
we know Sindra and the Black Spider found the cube here. We know this is where Sindra died, and it was due to some flying. She said there were some flying creatures here. She thought before she died, but that's all she remembers.
I bet it's those monkeys.
Is
Well-
is the cube glowing?
I look at the cube. Well, you have to get the cube for me out of my chicken.
So Zygmundo pulls the chicken out, kind of pulls open the mouth, looks inside, and the just sees blackness.
I take off my sunglasses and look at the cube again.
Sunglasses.
So let's see, Recto, as everybody else is kind of looking around over the plateau, you to glance out over the edge, off to the southeast, and you see what looks like a large chunk of earth floating over the jungle, dozens of miles away.
Oh boy!
Hey
It
guys,
sticks out because it's
So
floating.
look, it's an island in the sky,
what direction is that?
southeast.
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 So roughly around here.
Wow. Don't see that every day.
Yeah, I bet real estate's pretty
Walk there
expensive on that thing.
I mean, I've totally been out there.
Okay, let's take note of that, guys. And you guys want to move along here?
Yeah, let's. I'd like to be fully in the town before we lose the light.
Do we want to work along like the edge, or which way? How do we want to do this?
Right
So
through the
least
gate.
Exposed as we can.
All right.
The
We should
path
check
is here
the gate
us.
for traps or magic or something first before we go in. Maybe. Has anybody been through the gate yet?
Got it. Jason walks through the gate.
Okay. Jason walks through the gate, and he's now on the other side.
No traps.
There's also nothing. There's no wall left on either side of the gate, right? So this gate is just standing there.
Yeah, it's just out here.
It's a
Let's
suffocate
go.
City.
Recto walks around the gate.
Okay, he is now
And there's
also on the other side.
You fall through a hole and you die.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
join the party.
All right, head into the ruins then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm flying with them.
Standard marching
I fly
order.
over the gates. As
Do
everyone's
we
saying what
want
they're
to
doing.
pass without trace as we go in here, or how do we want to do this?
No, just go.
I really want those spells for.
I really think the no just go attitude is not always our best way, but you know.
I think the
We're
saving
out
spell
here.
slot is better.
Where are we supposed to hide? This is nothing but
Yeah, that's fair.
plateau. Let's save it for when we can effectively use it.
I mean, Squawk does pass without a trace, so
Whatever
What,
we
the
find
giant
in
man
there,
bird
his-
20
except
feet
for
in the
his
air?
droppings.
Yeah. Whatever we find in there, we're gonna have to fight
Speaking
anyway.
of Squawk boots.
Yeah, you're right. When people don't want to be spotted, they typically jump up and fly in the air. That's usually how things go. They don't. They
20
certainly
feet.
don't get low and get down on the
Maybe
ground.
stealth works differently for bird people.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Go prone and just crawl your way through.
No prone. No,
So are you actually casting Pass Without a Trace?
I'm yeah, I'm gonna cast it.
okay.
We are crazy exposed, and I think it's probably best that we try to figure out what's going on in here before we just.
I think
All
it's
right.
a waste of a spell slot, but okay.
Well, not your spell slot, so you don't have to worry about it.
Squawk breaks character, looks at the camera, and says, "This is a waste of a spell slot."
Well, then maybe Squawk doesn't want to be within the 30 feet of the spell.
Hey, you're welcome to hang out outside.
You're welcome to fly way out in the middle
Squawk
of nowhere.
swoops into 29 feet of the spell.
a gorilla on tackle squawk.
Does Squawk do the Jim look at the camera? I gotta
Yes.
know.
This is
So-
a straight up Deadpool thing that he does.
So Squawk, you could get you could take advantage of Pass Without Trace as long as you stay within that 30 feet, and that includes, you know,
Vertical.
you could be 30 feet up, you could be 30 feet away, but
Right, it's a circle. It's like a dome, right?
it's like a dome. Yeah.
Do we need to reroll stealth for that?
Yeah. Because now you're going to add +10 to it, and so this is going to be another group check, right? So, assuming you all want to just proceed as a group,
Yes.
so it'll be whoever gets the worst.
So
That's
plus-
gotta be rolling.
Not
So
yet.
+10 to that.
Yeah, so 16.
Well, right now, until everybody else rolls, somebody
Yeah.
rolls a 1, it'll be 11.
Yeah.
I got to roll again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, into the ruins.
Okay. So the
Recto,
ruins
If we had
are.
gone on Rectos, it would be a 29 stealth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that would have had to be the lowest roll.
Right.
I'm one stealthy mofo.
Were we all rolling with advantage, or what were we rolling?
I just have it set that way.
Just wanted to know if I did something wrong.
Probably. But
Okay,
not that
so-
exact thing.
So you guys start to wander into the ruins, but you know, as you look around, whatever was once here has now been just completely obliterated. You see the occasional bone, you know, a femur here, a tibia there, different sizes, adults, children. But everything seems to be completely picked clean. You don't see full bodies, right? It's just the occasional piece of bone from time to time.
Can I look at one and see if there's any scratches, cuts, bites, marks?
Okay, yeah, you
Something
can.
been gnawing on these?
Beach to it.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Uh-oh.
God.
You think it's a bone?
So you do see that there are some sort of markings, but you're not certain what made it.
I'd like to hand it over to Zig and just go ooh, 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 because I don't know what this is.
I
See if
I
you
I
can
go
take a
ahead
look.
and take a look at what he's pointing to.
Okay, I'll let you Zig. Well, so in this case, because I generally don't want to have like, oh, I rolled bad. Let
No,
the other guy
but
try.
alright.
But
So
here's what I'll let you do. Here's what I'll let you do. I'll let you try something else. I'll let you try either medicine or nature on this.
Can I try perception to just look at what he's pointing to without actually knowing what I'm doing?
Perception would be like, is there a bone there? Which I'll just give you.
Yeah.
There
Well,
is a
no,
bone.
like double rolling investigation type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go.
Alright, so-
That was you though.
Let's do nature. How about that?
Oh, that was me. Sorry, that was for him to roll. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the nature one.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Imagine that.
So-
Our wizard is better at nature than our druid.
Everyone is. We've established this.
Sorry.
I'm also
So-
that Dadian.
So there are gashes in the bones that look like they're not man-made, but are natural. So maybe some type of talon or claw.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Probably those flying things that Cinder was referencing.
Yeah, that's probably what did it. That's all right. So into the ruins. I'm sure
Okay.
whatever did this is gonna find us sooner or later.
So like I said, the ruins stretch out for long ways in any direction. The
Yeah, like-
only thing that really you can really see that's interesting at this point is you see the one building that I mentioned. You also see far to the west. You can see just a little rise of a bit of a ridge on the plateau. So the plateau is completely flat except for the western side of it where it seems to be raised up a bit.
Maybe we should check out that one standing building, see if there's anything to be learned there.
Sure.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
All right, that sounds good to me. And so I'll head towards the the building.
Okay.
Well, I think we all
I'm
will. We'll,
fine with
we'll
it.
stay in our pass without trace bubble as we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys get closer, and you see that it's a small hut. It's a pretty simply made hut, thatch roof. Looks like the walls are maybe made out of animal hide or something like that. You see feathers kind of adorning the edges of the roof where it meets the walls, and you see various kind of you see some pottery, some basically big vases, big containers, kind of scattered around the outside of the hut.
Odd that something so rickety would have been left standing when everything else got destroyed. Maybe the local witch doctor, or
As we're walking, as they're flying, can I do like look behind us? And I just kind of like I feel like we're always looking forward when we're walking around. Is there a mechanic that's just like you're not actually always looking forward, like you are kind of always aware of your surroundings? Or do I need to?
No, you would generally say that, right? Like you can look, you can be watching everybody's back. You can it's not a mechanic.
Like,
you just say
as we are flying or as we're walking through this town, I want to be taking everything in. Like I want to kind of just be like looking 360 degrees all around us as we're doing this. Like just taking in everything from every different angle to see if I see anything different that looks out of place, or if the off chance that I see like a shadow move or something. Like and being being that I'm 30 feet higher than everyone else, I feel like being able to like look around at that to be able to see helps in this situation. So I am actively saying right now that I want to look around. I want to try to take in as much of the terrain as possible at all times.
Yep. Good.
Does this hut have a door?
You can't see one from where you are right now, but you're still pretty far away.
Got it.
Right. You can see this thing coming for a long ways, right? So you're easily a couple hundred yards away from it still when you're able to make out all the most of the detail on it. And Squawk, you're able to look all around, kind of glancing around you as you fly, and also you can see really far, right? Not just on the plateau, but even beyond into the jungle. You don't see anything on the plateau moving.
We're just like actively going forward as we walk towards the house. I just want to make the building. I want to make sure that I'm providing overwatch, I guess is the word I want to use.
Okay. So as you get closer, you see a small figure exit, or at least come around from the side of the hut. Small humanoid, probably just a little over 4 feet tall, maybe 4.5 feet tall, with a cane. Appears to be a woman, perhaps. Long hair. And she kind of is poking around a couple of her pots. Doesn't seem to pay any mind to you. You guys are maybe 100 yards away at this point. Walks over to what looks like a large clay cistern. Kind of reaches inside, pulls something out, walks back inside.
Like she actually paid zero mind to us, and she saw us.
He didn't see us.
You don't know.
But we were we were 100 yards away, and we're pretty stealthy. So, Hillers,
true.
You're muted, Hillers. We can't hear you.
Stepped on the button. She's probably not looking for people.
Yeah.
There's probably not too many visitors up here.
I say we keep going, right?
Yeah, let's go introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Ask if she wants some Boy Scout Girl Scout cookies or something.
Wilderness girl.
You should show her your fist.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lead with that, but it's
Just a thought.
I do have that club in my bag, so.
All right. So let's head over there and go knock on the door.
Okay. So as you get closer to the hut, you can smell the strong scent of incense and spice When you're maybe 50 feet away, the old woman comes back out of the hut again, takes a seat on a stool, and she's whittling something. She's just got some sort of wooden block, and she's carving it with a knife.
I'd like to call out, hello.
Okay.
I'd like to try
So-
to stay. I'd like to try to stay stealth.
While we're still, why surprise an old
Too late.
woman?
Too late
Let's
now.
make friends.
All right.
Great.
So,
glad I cast that. Thanks, Hillers.
That was your never mind. I didn't tell you to cast that.
So you yell out the hello, and she kind of looks up from the carving. She continues carving. Kind of looks up, doesn't look in your direction. Just kind of looks up. A few seconds later, just looks back down. Continues her carving.
That's odd. Okay, well, I mean, let's keep headed up there. Maybe we can sort of try again, I guess.
So you might actually have to walk out of the bubble for this to work. So we could stay stealth, and he could go out there maybe by himself and just kind of
Sure.
see, and we can kind of be back up, kind of hang back a little bit, maybe. You
Yeah,
guys wanna
I'd
try
be
that?
fine with that. She didn't seem to notice us, so I'll go give it a second try.
Okay. So you want to kind of approach? Is that what Jason's gonna do?
Like you would approach an old lady. I was whittling on, just go up, and once I get close enough, sort of greet her again, and I guess see how she reacts.
Okay. So you start to approach her, and you see that she kind of looks up from her whittling, and she kind of looks through you a bit, like looks in your general, but doesn't really make eye contact with you. And you see that she's just impossibly old. You know, her fingers are all gnarled, her huge knuckles, and her eyes are nearly completely white with what looks like old age cataracts. She was just sitting there, kind of maybe looking around, like almost like she's trying to listen more than look.
Okay. Does she hear me?
Did you say something, or?
Yeah, no, I said, hello.
Okay. Yeah. So she kind of, this time she stops and looks, again in your general direction, and she says, "Oh, who's there?"
My name is Jason. I'm here with some associates of mine. We've been asked to come up here and try to figure out what went wrong here. Is there something you can tell us? It seems pretty broken around here.
She grabs onto her cane with a shaky hand and kind of stands up, and she says, "Oh, a visitor! Come on inside!" And she kind of very slowly hobbles into the hut.
Troy, do we recognize this as being the floating orb with a single eye from the cave? The voice is
remind
the
me?
same. That's a comment on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that's just I have three voices.
This one's my favorite.
I too enjoy it.
So I'd like to
No,
just sort
he
of.
also has the racist African one.
those are two of the others.
I
I've
just-
got this one and then two racist voices.
Can't wait till we meet some Asian characters. That'll be fantastic.
Oh,
maybe.
no.
I'd like to. I'd like.
Right, nice.
All right.
Oh, no.
Can't
Sorry,
post this
This one's
video.
on YouTube, please.
Things took a turn.
This one will not
So-
go on YouTube.
I'd like to sort of signal to the party to kind of go around the hut. You know what I mean? Just sort of show them, that let them know I'm headed in, and just sort of, suggest that they position themselves.
Like surround it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely want to stay outside.
And then I'll reluctantly follow her in there.
Are there like windows or any visibility into there?
No windows, because as you approach, you see that this is a very and
It's
Jason
makeshift.
sees that the the doorway is just kind of a flap of animal skin. She just kind of pushes out of the way.
Okay.
The rest of the walls are
Flap
some
of
kind
animal
of
skin.
some timber, but like with leather just kind of sewn together and then stretched to the frame with thatch over top, right? So it's there would be no way to install like wood.
But presumably they should be able to hear me and her.
Yeah, I mean this
Just
isn't
leather.
going to have much insulation, so
It's not soundproof.
Is there
Okay.
so looking in this room? Is there anything? I mean, okay, so I have a plan when I'm asking this question. Is there anything in this room that will help?
you're not in the room.
Oh, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
well,
you're definitely,
unless you
you're
want to
definitely
be.
not. You're definitely not invited in the room.
Sorry.
So to be
There's
clear,
no
so
kitchen staff in here.
Jason left the pass without trace bubble, approached the old woman who invited him inside. He followed her inside, but
you.
signaled to all of you to kind of surround the hut. So Squawk can do whatever he wants, but he has not yet
Thank you
indicated
very
that he's
much for
going
clarifying
inside.
that. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of like fly above the part. Like I'm gonna circle around the hut and just like fly above the hut at like 50 feet above the hut,
Okay.
and just kind of like make circles around it.
Okay. As you do that, Squawk, you do see some figures flying to the far west.
How far away to the west?
Very far, like over a mile. So it's very small. Like you know that they're not small birds because you wouldn't be able to see them from a distance. So they must be sizable.
Okay,
More like your
given
size, maybe
that they're
larger.
Far away. All right, that they're far away. I want to just keep an eye on them, but I don't want to alert the party to it yet. I'll watch them to see if they get closer. Yeah,
They don't appear to be flying in your direction.
That's fine.
You know, as you fly around.
I want to keep an eye on them, but I don't want to say anything about them yet.
Okay. So Jason, as you enter and do that, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Hanging by the flap.
Yeah, just trying to get as close to the house where we can maybe hear what's going on
Maybe
inside.
listen in a little bit, yeah.
So the three of you are just kind of like together,
Like creepy, like trying to listen in the front door.
like three
I'm
stooges.
Three
Each head
Stooges.
is stacked on top of the
No.
other one, kind of.
No. I'm gonna hang out and take my pipe out and light it and just relax against a tree,
There's no
keeping an eye out for anything that might be going on.
There's no trees.
You could
There's
rest against the
nothing.
cistern or the hut.
What about a pile of bones? Can I do that?
There you go. That's hard.
So you don't see a pile of bones, but you do find a patch of dirt that looks relatively recently disturbed on the ground. It's
Fantastic.
shaped vaguely grave-like.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's
I'm-
not ominous at all.
They won't come
I'm
back to
pretty
bite us.
excited to have a poison antidote right now. I gotta tell you.
All right. So I guess what I do with that new information is I light my pipe and I kind of just kick around and look at this this newly disturbed dirt. Trying to
Pretty
figure
sure I've
out
seen
what's
this in
going
a
on
movie
here.
before.
Okay. You kick at the dirt. I mean, your
Yeah,
shoe
like
gets
nonchalantly.
Like so.
Like I'm just kind of like, huh, what's this?
Okay, well, so it moves pretty easily. It's more like soil than the rest because a lot of the plateau is more rock-like. This looks like it's been dug, and so has become a little bit looser, a little bit more moist than the very dry surface elsewhere. All right, so Jason, as you walk in, you kind of push the flap aside, and you can smell what smells like maybe some sort of tea brewing, and the old woman is at a pot over not quite a fire, just some kind of low burning embers, and you kind of look around and you see more pottery, more containers for whatever she has in them. A small kind of straw mat on the ground that looks like it must be her bed. Nothing. Not much in the way of kind of permanent furniture. You do see a couple stools, but this looks all quite haphazard. And she kind of motions behind her back. You know, come on, come, sit.
So I'll go in and as I'm sitting down, ask her, "How is it you came to be up here all by yourself?"
Oh, I've been here for a very long time. Not all, but I've been here longer than I can even remember.
What happened to everyone else that was up here?
Not a happy story. Not a happy story. Here, have some tea. And she kind of pours. She has these two kind of wooden cups, and she pours some tea out of the pot into the two cups, and she hands one over to you while holding one herself.
I'll take the cup.
Okay. And she says, "Well, I don't get many visitors. I'm sorry. This is the best I could do." And drinks from the cup.
Okay, and I'll say, no, thank you for your hospitality. This is more than enough. But I've been asked to come up here to try to figure out what happened to the people. Maybe if we can correct it, more people could come back here. You shouldn't be up here all by yourself. I understand it might be painful to try and recall, but really we need as much information as we can about what happened here and why everyone seems to have died.
She kind of nods her head and looks away for a moment. And, a fair amount of time goes by, 10, 15 seconds before she kind of looks back up at you. And she's able to see you, like, more, her eyes are still white, but she's now looking into your eyes. And she's, and you notice something that you didn't see before. Maybe it was hidden by her hair, you're not sure, but there's a big long gash down the side of her face. It's since healed and scarred. It's now, kind of white with the sun, so it's not a recent scar. And she says, the monsters came to MBala, and they picked them all apart. Except for me, I was too old, too scrawny, not tasty enough.
That's fairly discriminating for monsters. Do you know which way they came from?
They flew from the west, from the plateau. They used to only be here for a few weeks throughout the year, and for some reason they one day they came and stayed, and in great number, and it wasn't long after that before old Granny Poo Poo was all alone.
That's I'm just gonna take a second to digest that, and then
she says, "How did?" And she takes another. Says, "How do you like your?"
It's quite good, thank you. I just I was curious how your people used to deal with the monsters when they came before.
Oh, well, it's very hard for me to remember. It was long ago, but they did not stay long, so we could mostly stay inside and shelter and wait them out. But when they stayed permanently, that was no longer an option.
Okay. We're headed in that direction. We hope to rid the plateau of danger. Is there anything that you can tell me about ways to defeat them, things they might be afraid of or weak to?
I do not know, but I had some pets, and I thought that maybe they could help, and it did not work. If you find my pets, if you go and defeat the monsters and find my pets, I'd be very, very thankful.
Well, what type of pets would we be looking for?
Gotta be cats. It's gotta be cats.
No,
I think it's a bigger monster, actually.
They're monkeys.
Yeah, of course they are. Okay, what type of monkeys?
Oh, well, there aren't many monkeys up on MBala, boy.
The monkey
You'll
kind.
know them.
Fair enough. We'll be happy to keep an eye out. But if there's nothing else that you could tell us, I'll be happy to be on my way. But any information you could offer would be very much appreciated.
She sniffs at the air. Says, "Oh, You should invite your friend in.
That we're quite busy, and we wouldn't want to intrude on your hospitality any more than we already have.
Well, I haven't had a good smoke in quite a long time. I don't get many visitors. I don't get many traders.
Happy to visit, and please feel free to smoke. I myself do not.
Well, maybe your friend, who's... that's a succulent pipe. Maybe he could come in. And I could share the tea, and he could share the tobacco.
Perhaps on our way back. Thank you.
Good thing it
Okay.
was Coke.
Yeah, so you want to bump some lines, or?
Oh, you're leaving so soon? And she kind of reaches out her hand towards your face.
And I'll just sort of
Put your wang in it. Put your wang in it.
I'll just,
Oh my god.
just sort of. Is this how you act with all old
Bird
ladies?
people, man. They're
Yeah, I'll just start getting up, sort of moving away, and say thank you very much. Really, we'd like to be over by the monsters before we lose the light. If we find your monkeys, of course, we'll be back. And then I'll start to exit.
Okay, so as you exit, she kind of pull herself up. So, well, it was so nice having a visitor. Not many people seen any poo-poo these days.
We'll be back. Thank you again, and the best to you. We should be back shortly as soon as we've cleared this up. We'll let people back in town know that you're up here.
I didn't catch your name, young man.
Jason.
Jason, well, please stop back in, and I'll cook a stew for you and your friend.
What type of stew would you cook up here? It didn't strike me as having a lot of food in the area.
Oh, not much, but I do have a small garden, and I am able to beets and some radishes, some cabbage.
That sounds nice. We'll be back soon, and then let's walk out.
Okay, and she kind of very slowly follows, is kind of like looking in your general direction and kind of waving, probably about 10 feet away from where you actually are.
Okay, I'll ask the party if they once I'm sort of out of her range of hearing and back near them, if they found anything in the area.
I don't answer. I remain quiet and covert.
The birds that were
He's
flying.
a Milford man.
Are those flying objects that I was seeing earlier? Do I perceive them to be coming any closer?
They don't look like they're coming in your direction. They kind of seem to be coming and going and all sorts, but pretty far away.
All right, I'm gonna swoop down and just say that there's I saw some things flying around off to the west, but it doesn't look like they're bothering us. That they're not coming any closer to us.
That sounds like what Granny Poo Poo back there was talking about. That's apparently her name. She says that something roughly fitting that description ate all the villagers here.
Something's flying. 8 villagers.
That's what it. I mean, she said they'd all been dead. I mean, said
The villagers?
yeah.
Or the things eating them were dead?
Oh no, I didn't hear that they were dead. I suppose I might have asked that, but
Who are they?
whatever's flying over there. It sounds
Her?
like. Maybe I should start from the beginning. And I'll proceed to tell them, what I heard, and let her know that she also asked that we would
I'm actually
look out
really
for her
interested to
monkeys.
I'm really interested to hear what did Jason hear at this point.
I heard that monsters had come and killed everybody here. Also, this woman who thinks she was spared due to her lack of tastiness asked that we take a look out for her monkeys if we happen to be headed over there, which seems like might be what we're here for. So,
What do her monkeys look like?
Monkeys.
They're not giant white monkeys, are they? How many arms do her monkeys have?
She said they look like monkeys. I'm assuming, I don't know, lemurs. You know, not baboons. You know, she didn't say find my pet gorillons, so we should be fine. If we see them, we'll know where to take them. If we don't,
And
we
how
don't.
close was this hut to the initial gate?
The hut is 1,600 feet from the gate.
Oh, is this the gate that you were saying that the hut that I saw earlier? I
Mm-hmm.
thought. Oh, I was thinking that there was like a giant building.
There's literally one hut. There's one building in the whole, like, that you can see.
And I'll just let them know. It does seem suspicious that she's out here all by herself. You know, I don't know if she was odd because she's a forced hermit up here, or if something else is going on. But I didn't stay to find out.
So as I was flying over the house, is the roof of the house completely covered?
Yeah, it's just completely, it's thatched,
Thatched.
straw.
Okay, but there's no holes in the thatched roof.
No.
So I would
You can see
recommend.
there's some, like, there are holes, like the sides of the house are not perfect, right? It's just leather stretched against wood, so like there's some very small amounts of smoke kind of trailing out through the holes of the side, and
Okay.
there's plenty of gaps.
Okay, so I want to look. So I'll land and look through one of the gaps.
You land on the house.
Next to the house. I'm on the ground now.
Okay. The house is okay. Well, the hut's empty. She's outside. She was saying goodbye to Jason.
Right. So as she's outside looking at him, I don't want to go into the house. I want to kind of look into the house and see what I can see inside the house. And if I need to, I'll cast the cantrip, Dancing Lights, to provide some light for me to be able to see inside the hut to see what is inside it.
Okay. Is that what you do?
That is what I do.
Okay. So you cast Dancing Lights, and the inside of the house lights up.
Okay.
And you can see light. The rest of you can see light spilling out through all the gaps in the walls and the holes at the tops of the walls, out of the underneath the roof. Like all of a sudden, because it's getting late in the day, and now it's kind of shining. This hut is now shining brightly.
Is there any? Go ahead.
Yeah. So you look inside, and you see a large of containers of vases and not quite vials, but maybe little containers. You see bowls. You see pots, and you see what else? You see.
Do I see any light coming out of any area, going towards any areas that wouldn't have been perceived as an area that light should be coming out of naturally? I guess I'm using the light as like a detect hidden passages way type of thing.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an investigation check, because now you're looking for something pretty specific.
Okay. Do you just want to tell me that the answer is no?
Go ahead and
That's
investigate.
not the way that works. You don't see it.
Okay.
You don't see anything.
Fair enough.
Those are always the worst because you're like, did I not see it, or is it
Yeah.
not there?
but this also works both ways in that what I'm seeing is I'm seeing the light leaving in an area, but other people could see light leaving an area that they didn't see, though, right? I'm looking for a light illuminating an area, but people from a different angle could be looking for light that is emanating from an area that they didn't see from before, correct?
Sure. This
I'm
is
saying-
like
Well, no, I'm saying
this whole.
like, for that example, purely of just you just saying how, oh, I failed my check, but you don't want me to be able to say, well, someone else make the check. Like what we're looking at is two different ways of looking at it right now. Is saying I don't see any light leaving an area, but someone else could see a light entering an area.
Maybe they could, but they would have to decide that was something that they're
Right. No, but I'm
was
saying like
actively interested in doing.
from a storytelling mechanic level, it's saying I don't
Sure.
want to keep passing things around, like, and then one person makes that check, and then that's it for the group. But that's how kind of a way that we could work around it. Is there anything in this room that I'm seeing as the lights are dancing around that looks out of the? It looks like something I wouldn't expect to see in a random house.
I mean, the number of containers, like this looks more like an alchemy shop than it does a person's home.
Ah, that's the answer. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll let someone else go.
I'd recommend heading towards the monsters after a quick bio.
Okay. Should we take our bio break now?
Sure.
All right.
All right. Man, just taking a couple of devices off my network. So, Hilliers,
Yes.
it looks like Cyberpunk 2077 was on Microsoft's platform.
Oh,
Yeah.
When's it coming out?
Reviews from what I heard.
when's it coming out?
I don't know if there's a release date yet. I just know that the only thing that I read that said Cyberpunk was a Microsoft show, which meant that they were showing it off on the Xbox X.
I mean, I want them to take as long as it takes to make the best game, but I really want to play it. But knowing about Anthem and about Division 2, I'm like, all right, that's
I know nothing
plenty
about
to play.
Anthem. I know it's
check it out.
BioWare's game. I know it's
Check it out.
BioWare's
Yeah.
next game.
it looked kind of Destiny-y a little bit, you know, like a
It's supposed to be
shared.
BioWare's version of Destiny.
Yeah, and you know, I'm still a BioWare fan. I wasn't like thrilled with what happened with
Mass
Andromeda. Yeah, but the first 3 games were some of the best games I ever played. So, you know, it's like you're not gonna have all hits. You know,
You're talking
So
about what's the new BioWare one called?
Anthem.
Anthem.
So,
I gotta
are we
check it out.
getting Battlefield for the PC or the Xbox?
I probably would be awful at Battlefield, actually.
Don't care. Andy,
I don't know yet.
Oh, be sure to thank thank you first, but also thank McLean for me for inviting me out this afternoon. That was fun.
of course.
I'm not sure yet.
Sorry if I pissed off James. I wasn't trying to make a political statement.
That was a very that was a very ballsy conversation to have. I think that was a very choice words to have at that exact point. It's like surrounded by the people that you were surrounded by. I was like, oh, this will be interesting to hear. And then you saved it nicely at the end by saying, just to be clear,
It has nothing to do
it
with
was
politics.
fine
They're
under
just awful.
Bush.
Those
You're like,
people were
it was fine under Bush.
It was fine.
It's
Yeah,
just
transportation.
this one that's bad. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just the people. It's not saying that, like, you know.
It doesn't do about politics. It has to do about the people.
There's no politics. It's transportation. Everybody likes roads. Everybody needs to fly. You know what I mean? It's not partisan. But I got the sense that he felt attacked by it. So I sorry about that. But
No, it's fine.
whatever.
It's fine.
I mean, if he really thinks Trump is so great, I honestly don't give a shit. But
No, but I think you stating. I think that you by saying like, listen, it was fine under Bush too. Like it was fine. Like it is just this. I think that's kind of like, oh, all right.
yeah, I wasn't trying to make a big, statement. It was
We
just
talking
like
we talking politics?
these people are idiots. No, we're not. I wanted to make sure that somebody didn't think that I was, because I was complaining about idiots at work, and I think he might have suspected I was
He
trying to make a
complaining
political
about
statement.
Trump appointees, not about politics.
Right.
Well, yeah, okay.
Not that I wouldn't,
That's
but
two
not
different
in
things.
not
That's
in that
two
company.
different things.
Right.
Hey Troy. Did you see that? So I guess I haven't seen much about today, but I just saw that Cyberpunk 2077 was announced at the Microsoft concert.
Yeah, the trailer is awesome.
Does it look like everything like? I feel like CD
looks
Projekt
great.
Red is what Rockstar is going to be one of the next rock stars. Like we are going to spend 5 years developing games, but when we release them, they're going to be absolutely baller.
So it's clearly in engine, but it's not gameplay. So that's why I still don't know what that. I'm interested to see what the gameplay looks like.
Okay. Oh, so it's still like far out.
Yeah, I think we still got another couple years.
Oh, that's a shame.
We should have asked
Like
about the
2019.
grave
It's the grave.
outside the hut. Like we should have probably asked about that thing that Andrew was sitting
Oh,
there.
well, you mean the thing that I only found by myself while standing outside?
I know. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, did you?
That could
I guess
it could have been the garden.
All right, if we're ready, we'll
Sure,
finish E3
that's
talking
true.
after at midnight.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
let's head out.
Okay.
I would like
So you
to
guys,
go in the house. No, I'm kidding. I don't like that.
okay.
Well, all right. So we're getting ready to depart. I'd like to just kind of mention, hey, what's you guys see this over here? It's so weird, isn't it? Just this old lady, and there's this thing here. I think this might be something interesting.
And I'll just point out she did mention she had a garden. Not saying that there's not something vaguely suspicious about this whole situation, but
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what?
if it does happen to be your garden, I hate to dig it up. And change
Wait, I'm sorry, I broke up.
greenest people.
Oh, look, it's potatoes. Oh.
It's potatoes, and now she's gonna starve.
She has no pet monkeys to eat.
Or to do her farming.
Right. So, for the time being, I don't know. I'd prefer to do some adventuring.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Bring
do
us
you guys
farming
have
sometime.
any
I was
thoughts on
with
how
Dirty
we do
Valley.
this? Like, do we want to just head towards the danger that we know is out there, or do we want to? head
We don't know
different-
where the danger is that is out there.
We know where the birds are.
To the west.
To the west, we know where the plateau is.
Beyond,
Like,
so what's beyond the house? What's beyond this hut? Like I guess I was in the assumption that when I was looking at this, that this hut was actually a lot bigger than what it was. But if it is just this hut that I saw, like what's beyond this hut? Everything else.
Ruin.
Everything around this hut.
but there's like fallen structures, or is it just like an empty plain?
It's fallen.
No, there are
structures, but
fallen,
it's, like,
fallen
level.
structures.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like, the wall is crumbling. It's like the wall isn't there anymore. There's rubble.
So, if I understand our job correctly, we were sent up here to get rid of the evil. It seems that the evil is flying monsters that eat people. Flying monsters are over in that direction.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
Yeah.
is the
Yeah. This hut thing is weird, but I'm not sure what else we can really do at this point about it.
well, we can always check on the way back when there's some
So Nick,
chance of bringing other-
the cube is like it's 25 miles. I think is when it starts, right? Isn't that when it starts glowing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not.
miles? I thought it was like feet or something. Sorry.
No. So like.
Let me look at the chicken. Oh, he's right here next to it.
Yeah. So like if it wasn't glowing when we were coming up, like it's not going to be glowing now.
Okay. We're not any kind of like glowing that indicate like we're not worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
And the sun is setting right now.
It's getting close. Yeah, it's gonna fall back over the western side of the plateau pretty soon.
So now that we're out of the jungle, though, from a game mechanic, could we theoretically take a long rest and be fine here?
No, I mean this is you're at the top of a flat plateau without
Could we
anything.
take a long rest under the assumption that if we actually took a long rest, that it would be because in the jungle taking a long rest, you said was the equivalent of taking a short rest because it didn't work as well. If we were able to successfully pull off a long rest, would we get the benefit of a long rest on this top of the plateau? Is my question.
If there weren't flying monsters up here, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is a city that's been destroyed by some kind of evil monsters. Like I'm not sure why resting here would be a great idea.
Let's take a nap.
So is Detroit, and let's take a nap there.
I wouldn't.
Recto
would take a
vetoes
nap on
camping in the
Detroit
middle of the.
So far we have offended Asian people and Detroitians.
Wait, who defended
I
Detroit
believe
people?
the plural of people from Detroit is Detroits.
Right. So the question
So
is,
where are we going?
how much time is left? Do we have time to go fight these monsters before it gets dark, or do we want to like go
I'd say
back?
about
Maybe.
an hour and 7 minutes.
Do we want to go back to the path? Maybe take a camp for the night, get up in the morning, and then head over there.
I don't understand why we have to do it. Why can't we just camp with the lady?
I would not want to. I don't want to do that. I would
I
rather
also
get
don't
out
wanna
of
do
sight
that.
of the birds.
I'd rather go back down through that crevasse if we were going to spend the night, but
Okay.
we still have passed Trace up.
All right.
The crevasse is basically like imagine a stairwell in your house.
Yeah.
Like with a wall on either side.
So back down to the path sounds fine.
Remember our
And-
giant fight at Camp Righteous was like 16 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like,
So
True.
So Troy, if you want, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a rest for the purposes of rest, but like for just changing the time of day.
You guys
I
can
think
take a
we'd
short
rather
rest
keep
at any point, just to be clear. You can also take a long rest that gives you the benefit of a short rest anywhere you want.
I just don't want to. I don't want to get to the flying birds as it gets dark.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a bad situation. I don't have dark vision or anything like that. I'd prefer to get
In
at
the
it.
flames of Tressendar, we can make our own light.
Is that what you guys call yourselves?
all three of us.
That's what our fans call us.
It's okay. I'll be sure to ask them about that.
So how much time do we have till dark? Probably, Troy.
You've got maybe 2 hours. Like you've probably got an hour of direct sunlight left, and another hour of dusk.
And how far are the birds away, roughly, from what Squawk saw?
30 minutes to an hour, somewhere in that range.
So 2 miles,
Up to you guys.
2 to 4 miles.
I'd just as soon take it in the morning. That's
Yeah,
my vote.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I do in the morning.
I don't want to sleep up here personally.
Let's go back to the path.
Yeah.
So you want to go back all the way down the path?
No, just
Back
like
to Iku?
just enough
No, no,
space.
no. I mean, we could do
enough
that,
space to
but-
rest. No, just enough space, like down
No,
the
because
curve.
there's something magical up here that's presenting. We have not ran into anything magical would have prevented Iku from
Well,
coming up.
nobody's
true.
raised anything to my character that would.
We have
make
not
me go
found
ahead and
anything
attack.
magical that would prevent Iku from coming up here. So we are missing something, or.
But we
whatever
just got
we are
here.
looking
Yeah.
at.
I mean, this is huge. so.
Curses are nebulous.
So let's go back to like near the stairwell, like either the
Right.
path right below it, and just try to like find some space where we can just kind of rest for the evening and kind of.
Spoiler alert: if we're worried about monsters attacking us, 1,500 feet is not going to make a difference.
Either way,
But we're out of vision
Killing
of the birds.
killing them beforehand.
50. Spoiler alert again.
Okay, so what would
Bird's
you?
vision does not.
So what would you like to do?
I just don't understand. Like going. I am just saying that going back to where you're saying isn't going to give us any more protection than just setting up camp here.
so you want to rest here? Is what you're saying?
I mean, all I'm saying is from a game mechanic standpoint and the way that I understand
Think about being a
is-
plateau. Think about being a plateau where you can walk down a staircase and be just
Out of
below
sight.
and not on top of a several mile place. If we're gonna rest anywhere, We rest, in my opinion, at the
Right,
bottom
but the
of
thing
that
that we're
cloud.
worried about is a bird, which is a flying creature, which is still going to see us regardless of where it is.
There's still line
If
of
they're
sight.
right here, yes. But otherwise, they could be
Yeah.
everywhere
If
up on
they're a
top
mile out, yeah.
to see us.
Currently,
let's just-
currently we're in a place where birds from miles around can see us. We would like to go to a place where a bird would
Right.
need to be within 30 feet of us to see us.
Right. So let's do that. I mean, it sounds like the vote is.
Can we
is
use
for the
Squawk
thing.
as the test?
Sure.
I can
No,
see
no,
you. I
no
cannot
more,
see you.
no more Squawk describing how he looks at things. Let's just go there and rest and get up in the morning.
Okay. So you guys walk back to the staircase. So the staircase that leads down to the path. You're at the top of the staircase. Can you kind of describe to me what it is you're attempting to do in terms of camp? Are you camping on the stairs?
Head down the path to past the stairs, and then set up a sleeping bag.
Yeah, I think we go down
On
to the
the
path and just kind of sit there, or and lay down there for the night or something. I don't imagine it's
Yeah.
heavily trafficked, so I feel like it's a spot where we could probably.
So just to make sure that you guys understand that this path, right, is basically a ledge, right, with one side of the path being a cliff face going up, and the other side being a cliff face going down.
And one side of the cliff is going up just for show.
And so you've got, and it's about 2 to 4 feet wide at any given point.
Sure.
That's enough.
One long
Yeah.
Just
I'm
I mean,
comfortable
that's
with
how big a bed is. So
Yeah.
going down.
Right. Sleep.
And one
Okay.
long cliff face nowhere just for show.
What are
Okay.
you doing?
If I were a geologist, man.
So roll a d20 to see if you roll in your sleep. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you guys kind of set up. You kind of put your packs down and put your backs up. Huddle up against close to the
well,
wall.
we can
side of
put
the,
like our gear down
path.
on the cliff side, so that we wouldn't roll over the gear and then go off the cliff. Like we can make like a little barrier by doing that.
I as a
Good,
general rule, I think if real life Hillers is comfortable that I could sleep in a 4-foot area, then fake super ability Hillers would be fine.
Yeah, that's kind of
Right?
my thinking.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, laying down, you guys would probably have maybe a foot past your shoulder before the cliff face.
And honestly, like,
That's bigger than my college loft. I didn't fall off of that.
Okay.
yeah, I slept on a top bunk. I didn't have a railing. I never fell off that.
All right. Good. Okay, so you guys kind of set your stuff down. You kind of.
And I want to use mold earth fiber to make a little nook in the
All
actual
right.
Oh, that's nice.
ledge there.
There you go. There you
I
go.
won't even be
So
out
kinda-
of the path.
It kind of sinks in a bit, and like you create like a little cot
Cool.
for yourself. All right.
Cot, mother.
You guys are able to. You guys are able to get through the night. The wind is blowing hard because you're really high up, right? So the whole night, buffeting you with wind. Sand gets blown with that as it blows down from the top of the plateau. You can hear off in the distance like some cries of some creature. You also hear those monkey sounds again. Not as many as before.
From which
And
direction?
is it the monkey? Do the monkey sound like gorillons, or do they sound like not gorillons?
Not
No,
gorillas.
they're
They sound like
different.
monkeys. Yeah. They sound like they're coming from the direction of the hut.
Okay. So okay.
And when we when we're hearing those monkey sounds, is it only the people that are watching, that are taking the night watches, that hear that? Obviously, it's not the people that are sleeping that are hearing those, right?
Yeah. So both Recto and Zigmundo would have heard
Okay.
the monkey sounds.
Okay.
And nobody else. So the sun hits you guys pretty early in the morning, right? As soon as it pops up over the horizon, boom, just lights up the entire pathway, the entire cliff face that you're on. So you're up really early.
Cool. All right, you bozos, let's go. So we'll head back up, and you guys want to start heading towards the birds?
Yep.
Yep.
So
I'd like to re-roll for stealth when we're
technically, we're not really up that early, though, right?
You're up very early.
He just said we're up very early.
If we're up in the air and it's something's gonna take longer to hit us, so it would actually be like later.
No, that's not how it works.
Sure it would.
Oh my god.
We're on the
Anyways.
East Coast.
Diaz said we're up
Rises in the
early.
west, that's in the
We're
east.
up early. Let's just move
just
along.
pass this by. Yes. I don't even know how to start unpacking that.
That's what happens when it's a flat Earth, though.
No. Now you're putting me on tilt.
All right. So you guys make it back up to the top of the path. Walk either through or around the gate, and
Okay.
you're on the plateau.
I'd like to roll for stealth now that we're up here.
Yeah, and I think
Okay, you guys wanna
the role playing part of that is like we're basically quietly stepping, like getting behind things when we can. Not really.
These fucking rolls.
So there's
Let's hope we don't get into combat.
so this is to cross the plains
Yeah,
to the plateau. This is with disadvantage. There's not stuff to
that
get
makes
behind.
sense. Yeah.
We all roll stealth.
I think we should.
Doesn't matter, right? If you
It's an
team
8.
roll, if you team roll, it doesn't matter. It's a 4 nonetheless.
Oh,
No,
right.
it's a 3.
No, it's not.
Three.
We are
But it's
not stealthy.
not a 26.
You're wrong. It does matter. Ha
So we're
Damn it.
basically.
I didn't
sneaking
sleep well last night.
cartoon.
And I'm stumbling down the mountain path.
Yeah. All right.
We basically have Stewie following us with the trombone going.
Who won?
So you guys, over the course of 30 plus minutes, you guys kind of walk along the plateau, and this ridge off on the far western side of the plateau kind of continues to rise. And as you approach it, you're still a ways off. You can see that it's actually multiple ridges kind of stacked on top of each other. It's almost like a staircase effect, kind of step, about 3 to 4 levels up, kind of going up from the baseline of the plateau.
Is it natural?
And you can see it does look natural.
Okay.
And you all can now also see what Squawk was able to see from further away, which is you see about 2 to 3 creatures flying overhead, but you're still too far to make out what they look like.
All right.
But they have wings, and they're large.
So this plateau, does it? I mean, can we see an end of it, or is this just the land in general? Like as far as we can see, just goes up in that direction.
You can't tell what's past it, but judging from kind of the shape of the plateau, it looks like this is just kind of the lip of the plateau. Like it's just
Right, but like
uneven.
if we look to our sides, like not directly at the, but like, does it look like there's a way around it? Basically, is what I'm saying.
No, it looks like it's the edge of the
That's just the
plateau.
shape of the land, how it goes that way. Okay.
Yeah, just on that side. It doesn't wrap all the way around. It's just kind of on that one northwestern side.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, what do you want to do, guys?
Let's head over there. See what is to be seen a little bit closer up. See if what they're up to.
So you guys are still about a mile away.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit closer at least before making decisions.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's see. Squawk, go ahead and roll perception.
Okay. Even with my 19?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good.
The more I think about it, the more I'm suspicious of that old lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Right. We walked away.
An old
What is
lady
this?
that is the only living
Is
source.
the only living thing up here? Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, there's something going on there, man. Like she is not on the level. We would like to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, Nick, that's why you roll even with a 19.
Yeah.
So at about half a mile away, Squawk, you're able to see that the ridges, which again there's about 4 different levels, they have caves pocketing
Oh my God!
those ridges.
Okay. It looks like there's a lot of there's indentations in these caves up here. There's some caves. There's some caves in these ridges. We should definitely proceed cautiously going up through here.
Many
You
of
also
these
see that
things
some of
are
these
there.
flying creatures are coming in and out of.
Am I able to get a better idea of what these flying creatures look like?
Yeah. You see that they are not birds. That they appear to be. They don't have feathers. They seem to be more leathery, more reptilian.
Bat-like or more like pterodactyl-like?
More like the latter.
Ladders don't have wings. Oh, okay.
Close.
Pterodactyl-y? Okay, like dinosaur-y. Do they have... Do I know what a pterodactyl looks like?
You would know. So actually, go ahead. Your choice, either nature or history check with advantage. Given that you're from Chult.
Okay. Nature or history, you said?
Yeah, your choice. Okay. You believe that this is Terra folk, which are
Okay.
like a humanoid pterodactyl kind of thing.
So it's like me, but without feathers.
It's like the pterodactyl version of you, but monstrous.
Okay.
Not civilized.
Not civilized. Okay.
You're saying Squawk is civilized?
They're not
Yeah.
not a like intelligent race like a
Yeah, okay. So
versus race.
I will look at the party and say, so they look to be like pterodons, which are
Terrafolk.
Terrafolk. They look to be like terrafolk, which are just they seem to be they're a little bit more how do you say this? They're not as civilized as a normal person would be, and then I poop.
Just fully ignoring that, I'll ask. Are they
Wait,
normally?
are you wearing pants? Like, I just gotta know. Like,
I'm wearing chaps.
he does poop. He just poops right into the so you guys don't notice.
A little bit starts dripping out of my pant legs.
Oh,
how...
So much worse.
God.
How much do I have to roll to get away from him?
Do we know if terrafolk are? And I'll be asking this of Squawk once he's done with his business. If they're typically aggressive.
They are a very aggressive race. I would not be. That's correct, right? Being that they're monstrous.
I shouldn't have said monstrous, right? They're like animals. They're not monsters. They're animals. So it would be they're basically dinosaurs, right? So
Right. So they're not. They're as aggressive as the people come approaching them.
So are they carnivores? That's what I'm getting at.
Let's just not approach them aggressively, and there's no need to actively be trying to aggressive. If they attack us, we'll defend ourselves. But if they don't attack us, then let's just not try to provoke.
Then we'll take that as good information. Yeah, I
So real quick, Nick, go ahead and roll a nature check.
Oh well, that's the complete opposite of what you just told me to roll.
I know. You got the history check, so you were able to. Okay. Yep. Nope. What you said sounds good.
That's either because I did really good on my history check, or because Troy's like, "Fuck you, you're wrong."
All right. Well, I support that plan is to approach them but not strike first, and see what happens.
I just don't understand why we're trying to engage them.
Yeah, let's not if they don't engage us. If they don't engage us, maybe it's time to go back and talk to the old woman.
Sounds good to me. I'm in for that.
Like
Okay.
the woman could have stolen like a pterodon, like a terrafolk egg, and that's why they're attacking her.
They're
so
not
far,
attacking
so
her.
far that we've seen, this is the only life we've seen up here, correct?
Right. Well, other than her and the terrafolk are the only things that we've
Can I
seen.
take?
that are
Can I
alive.
just take like a generalized look of other footprints of anything else that's been around here? Because
Go ahead and do a survival check.
Troy had that one ready to go.
You look around and the wind, if there were any footprints, even your footprints are quickly kind of erased by the wind. This is mostly rock.
No droppings. Well, I guess the bird people would probably be able to tell it.
You're still pretty far from their caves.
Let's start walking.
Do we have
towards the
any
bird.
way to detect any kind of magical? We don't have detect magic, do we?
I do.
There's a magic barrier or whatever it is up here somewhere, and it's probably not from these bird folk, and we seem to think it may not be from the old lady.
Can you cast it multiple times? Because we don't
Is it
know
a
that
ritual?
It's not from, we don't know that it's not from the old lady.
It casting time is action duration up to 10 minutes. It's
Is it a ritual?
Concentrated. It does not. Oh yeah, it is a ritual.
You can. That means you can cast it with a slot or via a ritual.
Yeah. Hold on,
Just
looking
takes, what,
through
like
what
10
its
minutes or
ritual
15?
side.
Take like an hour.
We probably should have cast that back at the hut, but we'll get it on the way back.
Well, how far away from the hut? I mean, if we're in a jog, we can go back.
We can still go back to the hut.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no reason we can't.
Okay.
If we're halfway there, it's 6 of one, half.
I would venture to guess magic would be more
So I
around
have
her than these things.
I have 4 out of 4 slots for detect magic, so I can just spend a slot right now, or we can wait around for an hour. What do you want to do?
Is a ritual an hour? I thought it was like 15 or so.
It
10
depends
minutes.
on the spell.
Oh, okay.
So it
Is it?
doesn't say in the description here, but I'm going to go with it takes an hour.
A ritual is typically 10 minutes longer than whatever it says the casting time is. And for detect
Yeah.
magic, the duration
It's not the duration, it's the cast time. Cast time is one turn is...
one turn. So 10 minutes. It'll take you 10 minutes.
All right, let's do it as a ritual.
Right here in between the hut and the Terrafolk.
I mean,
I mean,
you guys
yes is
want
an
to use
acceptable
detect
answer.
magic,
I'm just
you let
I'm
me
asking.
know.
Okay.
Hey,
well,
you got the skill, so you
right. It's your call.
Well, I'd like to be partially hidden when this is happening. You guys defending me if anything goes south.
I mean, we'll watch your back for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like
And
not
you
like
pick-
peeing in the woods kind of watch my back. Like you'll actually watch my back, right?
Well, I mean, I can play Spider Solitaire, right?
All right, fine.
Can you?
Upon the advice of the party, I cast the ritual detect magic.
We're
Okay.
just doing this here in the middle of the.
So you guys kind of come to a halt. Take this can count as a short rest for anybody that needs it as well. Zig, you get your supplies out, kind of open your spell book up. You take some of the kind of materials out of your component pouch, array it around in a circle. Like start to cast the ritual. Takes you 15 minutes or so. Once you've wrapped up, you can sense that the entire plateau is emanating a magic from the school of abjuration.
Cast spell magic. Cast silence.
What is an adjuration? Is that like summoning?
Abjuration? Let's see what the... Well, I'll let... So, Recto probably doesn't know.
No, I'm looking. Protective in nature. Some of them have aggressive uses. They create magical barriers, negate harmful effects, harm trespassers, or banish creatures to other planes.
Can that ritual detect the general source on the plateau, or is it just the whole thing's equally?
So the spell has a 30-foot range from the caster.
Okay.
It'll detect the magic imbued into a creature or an object. The only object within 30 feet of Zigmundo that is magical is the plateau itself.
And the chicken.
Sure, the chicken also, and the cube also, they were magical, and any magical stuff that you guys were holding, he can tell are magic.
I'm nervous we're going to go up to these birds and there's going to be 50 of them and they're going to destroy us. That's what I'm nervous about.
Says
What
the
would you-
guy who
what would you
proactively
suggest?
Just shoots his laser bolt.
Yeah, you're used to that. No, I mean, but what? I'm not not a criticism. What would you suggest?
I think we go back and take a harder run at that old lady, try to figure out more like what she's about.
When you say that, what do you mean? Like, do you want to question her?
Well,
or-
like we could do another detect magic around her, see if that gives us more info. Maybe take a closer look at that grave. Maybe.
You think it's a grave?
I don't know. What are our options here? We advance
Maybe
on the
give her
birds.
some tobacco and get in her good graces.
The options here.
That was worthless.
Yeah, no. I mean, don't give her what she wants. That's
I don't
worthless.
want to eat anything that she's got going, but I would be curious to know what's in all those jars if someone wants to ask after it.
I have some jarred things with me that she might be interested in.
So the options include what? Going to see the birds.
Going to see the birds or going to see the
We're
woman?
going back to see the woman. We got to weigh in. We got to pick one of them, guys.
Woman.
I'd say birds for now.
That's just a battle to battle.
Again, I think that the woman it's where we want to find the
Well,
cause of the problem, not
that's-
treat the wound. We want to treat the problem, not the symptoms. And
Well, that's
the birds
okay.
are the
That's-
symptom.
3 for the woman, so let's go back there.
Yeah, and like I don't know, Zig.
I'm in for going back.
You what?
I'm in for going back.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think maybe if we can kind of keep him, I don't know, off to the side or something, if he can cast that within 30 feet of her, maybe we can see if there's something going on with her too.
Yeah.
She's blind as long as he's not smoking, I think.
Right. I mean, but my thought is Terrafolk must be more places if Squawk knows what they are, and he doesn't know them to be ravenous locust monsters, so that story doesn't seem to be checking out to me. You know?
Right. Yeah, they had to have had a reason to attack if they did.
If these
Or
were the
maybe
ones-
she's just
if
not telling
these
us the
were-
truth.
Or if there were different things that attacked.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, who would like to speak to her this time?
I'll speak to her.
Okay.
I mean, unless Recto wants to. Like, I volunteer myself to be able to do this. but
I
someone else
would like to not show myself if I don't have to still. Because she
Okay.
doesn't know that I'm...
Well, no, I mean, he has high persuasion and everything, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. All right, back to the old lady.
Okay. So you guys turn around and start heading back back east towards the hut, which you can see from a long ways off. About half an hour later, you start to get close to the hut. Squawk, are you walking with them or are you flying?
I'm flying with them.
Okay.
I am flying 10 feet above them while we are flying back to the hut.
Okay. So you guys get close to the hut and you see Granny outside of the hut with her. She's kind of down on her hands and knees, kind of clawing at the dirt. As you get closer, it looks like it's a garden, not the patch of dirt that you had found, Zigmundo. This is a separate patch of dirt, a little bit further away, closer to the cistern. She seems to be gardening.
Okay. I want to, as I get closer, say, "Excuse me." I want to. I don't want to startle her necessarily, but I actually. So what I'll do is I will pull out my viola and start just playing like a nice, quiet song as I approach her, to kind of like not
From
necessarily
the air.
from the air.
Okay. So you start to play the music and she kind of perks her head up and kind of looks around and doesn't see anything, and then looks up into the sky, sees you with your big wings.
Looking very angelic.
Looking like a terraphobe.
Looking
to a
like a
blind old
terraphobe.
lady, I imagine.
And she kind of
Thank you,
pauses
teacher.
for a second and then screams "Ah!" and grabs her cane and kind of grasps it with both hands and holds it out above her like this and is just shaking.
Okay, I'm not here to hurt you. I land, gracefully land, and just put my wings away. Like, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm sorry. There's no need to be afraid. I'm here to help you.
She disappears
All right,
and gone.
all right. I go to where she was. Right. All right. I will go to where she was guarding, and I use my claws, and I will help start digging up some wherever she was digging.
Okay. You find some beets and some radishes.
That's exactly what I expected to find. I want to pull up some vegetables. I want to garden for her using my talons. I want to be able to pull up some stuff for her, and I will go into the house, and I want to sort of like knock on the house.
Then you can't knock. Well, I mean, you could knock on, I guess, the wooden
Knock on the
post,
flap.
but
So there's no door to the
Okay.
house. It's just
it's a flap.
All canvas, like it's just a tent, basically.
All right. Hello.
No response.
All right. Then I'm going to peek my head in and be hello and look around the house.
Yeah. give
Okay.
him
I'm gonna slide. I want to slide the to move the canvas to the side and stick my head in. And you're like, hello.
Yeah, you don't see anybody inside, and no response.
All right, I'm gonna come inside now. I just want to deliver these. Well, I'm coming inside to help you. And I come inside, and I want to help, like, wash off the vegetables and present them cleanly, and like put them in a bowl for her while I'm inside, like her whatever I perceive to be the kitchen area of her little hut.
Okay. So you put them down. I mean, there's a kind of bowl that has some some of the vegetables in there in varying states of, some of it seems relatively fresh, some of it's already decayed quite a bit.
Okay.
You can throw it in that bowl.
I'll just go ahead and put it in the bowl, and there's still no one around.
Still nobody around.
As I'm looking around, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up one of the jars that I see and just open it up and just picking up a random jar, just looking at it.
Okay. So the first couple jars you pick up are empty. The third jar you pick up, you open it and go ahead and roll medicine.
I get +1 because Steve Dark Magic taught me how to be medicine, right?
Okay. All right.
Nope. What are you
So
doing?
Yeah, like when you saw my entrails, you learned about medicine.
No,
Going
because
on.
you said, Squawk, do not pour dirt into human wounds.
Don't spit. Don't spit into my wounds. Yes.
So
If that's teaching medicine, then I did teach you that.
as soon as you uncork this jar, this disgusting, revolting smell hits you, and you're quickly able to identify it as human bile.
Ooh.
Ick.
All right, so I quickly put it away and I'm like, oh. All right, is this just like one of the jars, or are there multiple jars that are going to smell like this?
You only tried 3. One of them smelled like that. There are dozens of jars in this hut of varying sizes. Some quite large, some quite small.
But so far, only one of my random 3 smell like bile.
Yeah, 2 of them were empty.
Okay, I want to pick up any other kind of jar that has any kind of substance in it.
Okay, you can't tell for all of them because some of them are opaque, but you pick up another one.
I can feel like if its jar's heavy or not.
Sure. Yeah, okay. So you pick up a couple more until you find one that has stuff in it, and you pop that open and go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Are we still connected?
I think I'm still there.
Yeah.
I'm getting.
I'm here.
Okay, there it is. And everybody's
There we
back.
go.
No, it
Okay.
appeared for me immediately, and I was just kind of.
So it was an 18 first. So the
It was
13
18.
was the second one. The 18 was my first roll.
Okay. It seems to be rainwater, maybe.
Okay, so if I pick up a third jar then that has substance in it, do you want to roll my 13 then?
Yeah, we'll use your 13. Okay. And so the very next jar you pick up, it's you can see that when you kind of swirl it, it's very viscous. It's a liquid, but quite thick. And as you pop it open, it has that copper smell that seems like it's some sort of. It seems like it's blood.
Okay, I want to combine. All right, so I'm gonna take just like a little bit. Is there an empty jar that I can put? An empty,
Sure.
not a jar. What is that thing called? The mortar thing?
Like
that,
a poultice?
yeah.
Or a pestle, yeah, rather, yeah.
Yeah, the pestle, yeah.
A mortar, yeah. Or I guess that's the mortar. The pestle's the wand thing.
Right,
Yeah.
and I want to combine. I kind of want to take the three things that there are things left of, and just kind of put them into this thing and kind of mix it together.
Okay. How much of each do you put in?
Like just enough. I'm gonna take the human bile and what is the what jar has? Okay, I'm gonna do 1 part each.
Okay, 1/3 rainwater, 1/3 human bile, 1/3 blood. All right. You pour it into the and it's thick liquidy soup. It's a dark brown.
Did I create the elixir for the world right now, or I've now solved the death problem?
You can taste it and find out.
No.
At what point may I interrupt the action?
At
Please
any
do.
point.
Yes.
Yes, I mean,
Before the night ends.
Yeah, I would.
Yes, I'm trying.
Yes, you're trying multiple things. None of them seem to be in party's mission.
Get that bird out of there!
I did not beaker what just happened. So far so good.
You know what? I'm willing to wait for detect magic after you swing. or
I was
whatever you
super
do.
expecting a beaker thing where it was just gonna explode in my face.
So where is everybody else while Squawk
I'm
is doing
outside with the rest
Outside
of
by Zig.
this? What are you guys doing? Just standing outside?
Waiting for
the.
the
What has it
bird.
been? It's been like a moment or so since you've been there.
Yeah, two or
Wow,
3 minutes maybe.
Oh, okay. I'm
We did
sorry.
that.
I was unaware it was that long. I mean, I definitely would like to do
You would like to
Near.
what? Sorry.
the huddle and detect magic near her hut, I guess.
the
Okay.
ritual version again.
Ritual version. You know what? We're kind of in a bind. I think I'm gonna go with the cast the spell, actually.
Okay. So you cast a spell, and so make sure you burn the spell slot.
I just did. Thank you for asking.
You can once again you detect the abjuration affecting the plateau itself. You also detect necromancy coming from that patch of dirt, and you detect a source of illusion coming from the hut, from something within the hut.
Oh boy.
Guys, I think she's in the house and she's invisible.
I don't-
Nick,
Can we?
what you just missed is that the dirt mound that I was kicking with necromancy magic on it. The hut itself has something of illusion inside of it, and I've just alerted everybody that I think she's still been hiding with some sort of invisibility.
And do you let the party know this?
I literally just said I have let everybody.
Well, you let everybody but Squawk know, because Squawk is inside mixing alchemical
Correct.
experiments, so he doesn't know this.
Correct. So everybody who is right next to me knows.
The magic is coming from inside the hut.
It's coming from inside the hut.
Okay.
So, Squawk, while you're in there, kind of mixing it, and you kind of look at this brown fluid, you hear a voice from behind you say, "I didn't invite you in. I think it's best that you leave."
I turn and say, "Okay, that's I was trying to help you out and get some information, but yes, I'll leave. And
Okay. You don't see anybody when you turn around, just to be clear.
Oh, and that's fine. I put my hands up and I'm like, okay, Okay, spirit, I will leave. And I begin to get really freaked out because apparently now Squawk hates ghosts. It is super terrified of ghosts, and we'll leave the hut.
Okay. All right, so you walk outside and you're all together.
Guys, there's a ghost inside. It spoke to me and said that I should leave. That's freaky. This is why I don't like sitting on land. And I will fly up in the air again another 10 feet.
Okay. So I still don't know how to act on anything.
Yeah, can we bring her out of that? Like if we know she's in there, maybe somebody can just go talk to her. Like Jason, if you've already kind of had a conversation with her and she's maybe not threatened by you.
Sure, I'll give it a quick shot. And I'll walk in and I'll say, Granny Poo Poo, we've come back. Unfortunately, we haven't found your monkeys yet, but we did encounter what we thought to be terrafolk, and we don't know them to be aggressive elsewhere. I was wondering if there was some reason that they might have attacked.
So you're inside the hut?
Yeah, I would approach the hut and give that little inquiry there. Yeah.
Okay. Roll perception. I mean, not perception. I'm sorry. Roll persuasion.
Oh, okay. Not my cup of tea, but well, yeah, 0. That's the least persuasive thing.
Oh my god.
Ever.
Now roll perception.
Okay. Also, not my
0 to 2.
Okay. You don't hear any response.
Okay, I'll ask her. Do you know anything about the death curse
I don't.
on this land?
I think if you rolled a 1, that he should have any ability to be able to know if there's anything in there to be able to ask anything about.
We told him that she was in there.
And now she's visible, right?
She's not visible, no.
Oh, all right. I'll
She ran into the house.
So I asked my
she-
question if she knows anything about the death curse.
You don't hear anything. Zigmundo, you can notice that the source of illusion magic is no longer hut. It is now outside near the dirt patch.
So I have a Chris question. Did you ever tell me that she was asking about like what I had with the tobacco and pipe and all that jazz? Or is that something you kept to yourself?
Chris, that's to you.
Oh, no, I would let the party know that I was unsuccessful. You know, basically what I said when I was.
No. Prior when you were in there and you were.
Yeah.
What I was asking is, because I understand because we were here that she was asking about like the tobacco and me hanging outside. Did you ever convey that to me as a character? Or was that something?
Oh no, I neglected to mention that.
All right. So I nudge the party members next to me, and I let them know that I think that she's moving across the open ground, or there's something moving across the open ground.
Yeah, I mean, what's the play here, guys?
I think the play is to try to convince her back.
Let's go get her monkeys.
We mean you no harm. And I think that's kind of like the next, just yelling that out. But that's got to be kind of you because you're the one who knows that she's outside the house.
Right. Hence why I nudged and conveyed that thought.
Sorry, I missed that.
You know what? You know what? Fine. I'm going to take an action here. I look in the direction that she's at, and I call out to her that, I understand you're scared. It's a scared land where we're all just trying to get by. Here.
How do you say it?
I says to myself, Mabel, I says. Like,
He wants you to do it in
I
Italian.
know he wants me to do the accent.
It's fine.
Just go ahead.
Just
All
let
right.
us go.
Yeah.
Where was I? Yeah. So, hey, look, we're all strangers. Sorry to scare you, but we're just trying to help, and we'd like to know more here. And we're sorry if we've intruded. We're still planning on helping you get your monkeys back. So that's what I
Okay.
did.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
He can't do worse than I did.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Okay.
All right.
It's been a while since we've seen a 0.
Yeah,
been pretty
get
close
ready. I have
sometimes.
-1 on this one.
Okay. After a moment, you see Nanny Poo Poo pop back in, and you can see her, and she's looking directly at you, Zygmundo, and she's standing up a little bit straighter than she was before. And she says,
And where is Zygmundo to the rest of the party?
you're all kind of, so, Jason, did you ever leave the hut?
Yeah, I would have come back out, having not been replied to. Yeah.
You're all roughly in the same spot. Squawk, I assume you're hovering.
I'm hovering above them, but yeah. All right.
Okay. So Nanny Poo Poo pops back in, and she says, she kind of like picks up her cane and points it at Squawk, and she says, I'd rather that one leave.
Do I hear her say this?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? What me? Why?
She kind of looks up at you and says, this town has had a hard experience with flying creatures of your sort and any other. It doesn't matter, but you've invaded my home and you've terrified an old woman. I think you are no longer welcome here.
Where is here?
MBala, boy. Leave now.
I'm not here. I am not here to hurt you.
Leave now. Leave now.
As she says this, I land, and I kind of like fold my wings behind me, and I kind of have my hands up, and I'm like, I'm here to help you. I mean you no harm. I am here with these folk. I am here with these people.
I'd like to step in.
Madam Poo Poo, I am here only to help you.
I would like to step in and try to say, Squawk, I think it's best if you at least go out of visual sight range for the moment. Stay close. We'll let you know. But this is all we got. And we can't waste this just to have you right here. We'll tell you everything that happens, but this seems to be the only way this is going to happen. This is going to go down.
I won't be here anyway.
So how far away do you fly, Squawk?
I'm gonna go back to where we set up camp earlier, by the crevasse.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll actually kind of like fly around the crevasse, and what I'll do, if it's still possible, like I'll kind of fly like a little perimeter around.
So it's about 1,600 feet back to the crevasse. So you're talking that's going to take you 10 minutes to get there.
And maybe the crevasse is really far away then. You know what? Yeah, I'll just kind of like fly back and.
You can start heading in that direction. I mean,
1,600 feet is not that far though. Like it's
1,600 feet. It's like 2/3 of a mile.
Yeah, but I can fly. Yeah, but like it's flying. It's flying. It's 600 feet. 600 feet.
a quarter of a mile.
And how far away is the sign?
Third of a mile.
You mean the gate? The gate's like right at the crevasse, basically like 10-20 feet away.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like fly away and then just kind of like hang out by the sign, I guess. Like I don't know, like.
Okay. Okay. Think about it this way: your flying speed is what, 50
Yes.
or 30?
50.
So that's every 6 seconds.
You know what? I take that back. I don't want to fly towards the sign. I actually want to fly to the west of where we are. Like, I actually don't want to fly because thinking that the sign is south of us, and then we came from where the pterodons were, or the chairfolk were from the west. I actually want to fly to the west.
Okay.
And I'll like hang out like in that area. Like I'll fly out like 1,000 feet or so, and then just land and be like shuffle and be like and play my song about this evil old woman who made me go away. And I'm gonna write a song about her.
Okay. All right.
That's fun.
Which woman?
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna write which a woman. Thank you, Andy.
So you fly away, and she you guys as he goes away, and she hunches back over and kind of puts her cane back down and says,
So I turn to her and I, oh, sorry about the bird brain, the guy. It'll be difficult sometimes.
Yes. Well, it's just I'm an old woman, and there are just some things I don't like, and I'm not gonna change. So, if you are gonna find my monkey, and if you bring them back, I'll make sure you're rewarded.
Okay.
Excellent.
Can I ask you? Do you know anything about your monkey besides down to that away, and to where we came from?
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
I'm sorry. So I'm basically asking her if she knows anything more she can share with us about the monkeys besides they are in that direction, and I point toward where we came from.
She tells you that 3 of her favorites. She sent 3 of her favorite monkeys out to research and investigate the nest, and they never returned. And they're very very dear to her.
I'd like to jump in real quick and just say, you control your monkeys. You are able to speak to them and ask them to do your bidding.
She goes, well, I ask, but they're monkeys. Sometimes they see, sometimes they do.
I get it. It's a joke.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Do they have names? How would we be able to identify?
Well, they're almost certainly dead, so bring back any dead monkeys you find, and that'll probably...
What do you do with dead monkeys?
Well, Nanny Poo Poo will try to bring them back, but it's very hard.
I ask her, and I gesture toward the dirt mound I was standing next to previously, and I said, "Is that what happened over there?"
And she looks over there, and she kind of wiggles her cane at you. And you've got the sight. No, that was something different.
Oh no!
That's not ominous.
Do you care to elaborate just a bit more? Maybe we could talk about it a little bit over a fire and some tea.
And she goes, well, I don't have visitors very often, so some tea, yes. And she starts to hobble back towards the hut, and she turns around and points to Jason and points to Zigmundo and says, "You two come inside." And it's not a very big hut, so the other two, make yourself comfortable.
I'll be happy to come in and sit down.
Oh boy. So yeah, I go in as well.
Okay, so the 2 of you walk in, and Roland and Recto, what do you guys do?
I guess I just stand there.
Yeah, I guess
go
I
for brunch
wait
if we get in
outside
trouble,
and say, if you have extras, I'd love to have some tea.
What a surprise! Hillers and Andrew have gone off on their own.
We thoroughly inspect the hut.
We stand by waiting to rescue the party.
Now, does she have any magisterial powers? Can she charge us with anything? Or...
Guys, we need to find out about the abjuration on the ground. Like,
Is that so?
Right.
So you guys walk in and just have a seat. Pull up a stool. I'll get the tea on. And she kind of goes over to poke some coals, and she has some flint and tinder. Trying to heat the coals back up. She puts a little teapot on top.
Detect magic is still in effect, right? It's a 10-minute casting.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm basically on the lookout for anything nefarious that I could pick up in the tea or inside her.
You don't pick up any traces of magic from her or from the hut right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you broke up that time. You were asking to clarify.
No. So you don't detect any traces of her, the tea, or anything else inside of the hut.
Okay.
You still can sense that the necromancy out in the dirt patch area, but and the plateau itself has this low glow of abjuration below you.
Its aura is orange.
Sure, yes.
People.
All right.
Okay.
So
Okay, so she's making the tea, and she says, so just have a seat. Just have a seat. Welcome. So glad to have you back, Jason. I didn't expect you so soon. Disappointed you don't have my monkeys, but
I'm sure we'll
He
find
has
the
a
monkey.
monkey for you.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find the monkeys very soon. We're just still trying to figure out how best to approach this. We didn't know that Terrafolk were so aggressive.
oh, very, very aggressive. The townspeople used to call them terror folk. They didn't understand what they really were, but they're all gone now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we were very confused. We're detecting magic over a large portion of the land here. We weren't sure the source of it. Is that something you could help us to better approach?
Yes, magic. We have a very magical MBala. Yes, Nanny Poo Poo likes the magic.
Do you happen to know where it's coming from? Are you the source of what we're detecting here?
Oh, yes. Nanny Poo Poo, make MBala magic, protect MBala.
Protect it from what? It seems to be pretty ravaged.
Yes. Well, So
I
it
don't.
goes.
I don't actually.
Can we be listening in, by the way, from outside? Are we have to hear this stuff just for future knowledge reasons?
You can try. So you want to try and stealth up?
No, but it's only a flat to the door, so I'd like to just be kind of outside listening in.
Yeah, close to the tent, hearing what we can, that kind of stuff.
I just want to know, information.
You can make out some of this.
Okay, all right.
Oh, hold on a second. I know she's a magic user, but I could also telepathically send them exactly what's happening here in the hut, if that's helpful.
As long as it's not concentration. If it's concentration, then you would lose
You've already got
your
one
detect
going.
magic.
No.
It is not concentration. It's message.
Okay.
So basically what I have to do is I have to kind of point in a general direction, and then I can just start beating.
Okay. And what are the components of that?
It says V, S, and M.
That means you would have to hold your component pouch, point in a direction, and say something.
Yeah, well, let's not do that. I figured that might be the most dangerous thing. I don't think I can do that slyly enough. My rolls are not so
She's
great.
blind.
You can just relay us the info when
She
you come
saw
out.
a
It's
bird.
really okay.
Yeah, she's not completely blind.
We'll talk about it later. Let's move on. Continue.
Okay. Yeah. So I would
sorry
like
to
to.
interrupt.
Yeah. So I would like to inquire. It's like I don't understand. It's something that we kind of need to know. What magic are you casting over this place?
Oh, just a protection spell to make sure nobody else comes to try and bother Nanny Poo. Yeah.
What,
I barely survived the last.
I don't understand. We walked right up here.
Yes. Well, I suppose you're not very dangerous.
I know some gorillons that would disagree with that assessment. But who are you trying to keep out?
Oh, just the dangerous ones.
Really? Because we had a guide on the way up here, a healer and a good friend of ours. She's demonstrated herself to be nothing but a good person, and she wasn't able to approach.
She kind of pauses and stops what she was doing with the tea kettle and turns around, kind of rubs her hands. It's just, who's this guide of yours?
Our guide is named Iku.
Hmm.
We hired her in Port Nyanzaru.
Well, she must be very dangerous if she couldn't ascend MBala. Maybe tell me more about Iku.
Don't know much about her. Actually, we just met. If there's something that we should know, please fill me in. If I'm traveling with someone dangerous, I'd like to know what it is you're keeping out here.
She kind of gets closer to you and says, "Well, there are great dark magics in across Chult, and well, you have to be careful."
Careful of what?
That's very vague.
Go
You may
on.
not know who you're traveling with.
I don't. If you can clue me in, I would very much appreciate
And I
it.
interject with, do you know her?
I do not. But Nanny Poo Poo is very old, and I suspect so is your Iku. I do not know that name, but if she cannot come to MBala, she must be very powerful.
That's certainly worth considering. One other thing I wanted to inquire about, you said if we brought you dead monkeys, you could bring them back to life. Is that, did I understand that correctly?
Yes. Nanny Poo Poo tries, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It depends on many factors, but I care for them. They are special to me, so I try.
It's a very unique skill that you have there. Especially in this time when it seems that death is permanent for most of us.
Yes. Nanny Poo Poo has felt this. This is very troubling, very troubling.
And yet you're able to circumvent it somehow.
Well, what I do is a little bit different. They don't quite come back the same.
Huh. Okay, well, so out of character here, I've kind of exhausted lines of.
No, you're fine. No, keep going. You're doing what you're doing right now is perfect. Keep going.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you is
Nope.
I don't know what else to
You're
ask.
not out of character. You just keep going.
Wait, hang on. I'd like to continue this line of thought,
Yeah, no, by all means.
which is could you be, when you say it doesn't work, could you be more specific? What is your goal here?
What is her what?
What is your goal here?
Oh, Nanny Poo Poo is old, just trying to stay alive, and it gets lonely here on MBala now that everybody else is gone. So I have very few friends left. So when they fall, I do what I can to try to bring them back.
What happens?
So I
You're not
let
there
her know
to
that we saw others up, when we were on our departure from here, and that we were concerned that maybe they were adversaries.
Are you talking about the things flying to the west?
I'm talking about the what were they, the Petrodactyl people or whatever.
Yeah, the Terrafolk. Yeah, she says, yes, the monsters. They tore apart the good people of MBala. Only Nanny Poo Poo is left now. Very dangerous.
So they are evil?
Oh yes. Destroy them. Destroy them, and MBala may come back.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Steve, I mean not Steve. Chris. Jason.
There you go. Third time's the charm.
Oh my. I mean, I actually mean Chris. Like, what do you think about?
I think we're unlikely to learn more until we can bring something else to the conversation, and I think we should head off to the other side of the island and do a little bit more thorough investigation, see if we run across any dead monkeys.
All right, so we are looking for monkeys dead
and or alive. Although if they're all alive, we might want to kill one before.
Yeah, basically, if we save her monkeys, she might consider us more of a friend and maybe give us more information as well.
Well, I kind of want to see what she does with the dead monkey, and if it's
but
super
we're not going
evil,
to kill a monkey to bring it to her because
you don't have to kill a monkey.
That's great.
All right. Well, let's go out and we can approach the monkey question once we actually have monkeys.
That's true.
So let's go get those monkeys.
Good.
I think heading to the other side of the island and getting what info is available there is our next step. And if we get in a fight with the Terrafolk, we get in a fight with them. If we don't, we don't. We won't attack first, but let's go over there, look for monkeys, find out how Terrafolk react to seeing us, and go from there.
Who's got high athletics so we can engage in a dance fight?
I do.
So are you guys still in the
I decline your dance fight. Yes, I'll say thank you very much. This has been very helpful. We'll look for your monkeys, and next time you see us, hopefully we'll have more to discuss.
And I ask, is there anything else we?
Anything else? What?
Anything else we can do for her?
She says, "Well, I just brewed the tea. Why don't you have some?"
All right, I'll have some.
Okay, so she hands you the tea, and she grabs a cup for herself, pours it, and she hands out a cup for Jason.
All right, I'll drink it.
Oh God.
Okay.
It was going so well.
It's warms my belly.
He didn't
What if
detect
it's a
anything
secret
magical
item?
from it, so if it's just regular poison, then I've got my. So we'll it's worth knowing if she's straight up evil.
Sure.
So.
So you guys, so if you took the sip as you said, that it's decent tea, not amazing, pretty strong.
Hotel quality.
Doesn't make you sick, doesn't kill you.
Great. Thank her very much for the tea, and depart.
Fantastic.
All right, so either she's
as you
evil
guys
or
are leaving-
Iku's evil.
As you're leaving, she kind of hobbles outside with a cane. One more thing before you go. And kind of rests her hand on the cane. You were asking about the death curse. I cannot destroy the death curse myself, but I know some things of death, and reversing it in small ways, strange ways to some. This I can do. This I could teach to one of you.
Oh, I would be interested in learning that.
Yeah,
if it wouldn't
somebody
take
should
too-
know about that. Yeah.
I do healing things.
We also have a party member who does healing things.
I don't
I
think
can-
this is necessarily
I have-
healing things.
Yeah.
I have things to trade for that.
Okay. She says,
Well, don't offer it if she's not asking.
So Roland, were you expressing in that
She
to her?
came outside.
She came
followed
outside.
us outside. Yeah.
I mean, I would certainly be interested. Yeah.
So she
It would-
looks at you. She looks at you a little bit surprised. Stay with me while your friends go, and I will teach you.
Oh boy. How
Can you
far
tell
out?
me anything about what this process is?
Well, we
And
try
what it
to
entails?
Well, it involves reattaching the soul to the body, or what's left of it, and well, they don't come back quite the same. But well, it's the best that you can get nowadays. So beggars can't be choosers.
Okay, no, I get it now. I'm not as interested as I thought.
And the Muppet version of this old woman.
Somebody should
No,
know
I'm-
about this, even if we don't use it. And I'll say that in or out of character.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's a
not
hard
within
one because
character
we
for me, because that's like about as against nature as you can get.
That's kind of necromancy. What? And this time I'm not asking Andrew because you're trying to murder wounded soldiers. What alignment are you?
Wait, what? You talking to me?
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything right here.
No, that's why I'm asking if it would be like sort of
In character for you to know this.
in your house to at least be aware of necromantic skills.
So just to be
Oh,
clear,
I'm
in the world of D&D, necromancy itself is not necessarily evil. So like the revivify spell is
Right.
is
That's
part of the
necromancy.
necromancy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. So I'm chaotic. I'm chaotic good.
That's right up the alley. Then we should know about this.
Yeah,
I
but
would-
except
I'm
you
I'm
need
like
to-
completely neutral, so it's probably more.
Do you want to know or not? You disqualified yourself. We didn't tell you not to. I'm fine with you, either of you. I just think somebody should know.
One
I
of us is
volunteer,
not going to
but
be
I'd
there.
be-
One of us is
So,
not going to
okay.
be there for the next.
All right, Troy.
Maybe
Troy,
we don't
I
know how
asked her
long.
how long do you think it would take to learn something?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, mastery of course takes a long time, but I can teach you the basics the next day or so.
All right.
Enough for you
I'll-
to get you started on your own studies.
All right. Do we want to wait a day or so before we kick off on the journey, or do you think the journey is imminent and should be headed out now?
I'd be willing to wait the day. I think this is big news.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think is like this is an opportunity for not just me, but two of us to potentially learn
For the
this.
whole island.
Right.
Yeah.
Peninsula.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Zig and I kind of stay with her, and others sort of do the best they can to
Set
get
up
comfortable
camp.
for the day.
Right.
Take a long rest, recharge.
Sure. Yeah. I'll. I think that's a good plan.
All right.
Any dissenting opinions? Very well.
No, not really.
Let's consider that the acting plan. Maybe let's go over to where Squawk is and fill him in on
I was
what,
just saying, Squawk is completely lost.
How long would it take to get down to Iku?
about an hour.
Or 5 minutes if you're me.
Yeah, maybe while there with her, we can go and talk to Iku and try to find out
That's some good sleuthing right there.
why she's forbidden. Get a little bit more info.
Well, tell her we found the reason, and this woman says, basically, she says you're evil. What's the deal?
Good,
Yeah.
good luck with that.
You know, who
I
is
Taking her
mean,
money.
the three of us could. I mean, unless she turns into a monster or something, we won't
Yeah,
be too much
that's
danger.
not out of the
I'm not.
It's
It's
not
not
out of
going
the
to be.
possibility.
It's not going to be accusatory at all. It's just going to be, just
Inquisitive.
yeah, inquisitive is all. Just
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that for our next session. Let's start that. These guys are up here learning
All right, Zig.
a
we
Death
got it.
Quest work around. We go down and do a little, polite conversation with EQ and see if we can get
Okay.
any more information before we head out to the Terraform.
So just to capture this, so Jason and Recto
And Squawk.
go
And Squawk.
Squawks,
down.
we
Well,
gotta.
you don't have Squawk yet.
We don't have Squawk.
We'll go get him on our way.
Okay, go to
He's
get.
not, he's
so
not
go
on
to
our
get.
way, but yeah,
He's not
No,
by the
yeah,
gate.
so-
Oh, that's right.
No, I'm not.
No, he's
No,
not.
he
he went the other way.
Oh, all right. Well,
So you're gonna go west to get Squawk, and then go down to Eco.
Correct.
Zig and Roland stay with Granny.
Miss Poo Poo.
Miss, yeah.
We also have to remember that every day we stay here, we use up another day of our rations. So
Yeah, but this I feel like is worth more than some
I know,
of the days
I'm
we
just
went. And
saying-
we can go back to Vengeance.
We have 30
on our
days
way
of
back.
rations too. Like if it gets like, I know
Probably
it's
more
hard
like
to get a long
25
rest,
days.
but if we
now.
can get a long rest within the next month, I can get Goodberry, which will help us
Right.
tremendously too. with
We
that.
won't starve before we get back to Vengeance, provided we aren't killed before then.
I don't know that Vengeance has the rations to really.
Long rest is what we need. I can get Goodberry to.
Okay.
Well, and
Keep us
I've
alive.
got some survival. We can hunt and forage if we need, and the good berry will keep us alive.
Yeah.
So
All right.
And if we
All
get
right.
this workaround, we can always head back to Port Nyanzaru and offer something to Sindra.
Yeah, I feel like there's more to these birds than just go over there, and because we're not gonna be able to converse with them, obviously, so we're not really gonna know what's going on.
I can converse with them.
For
I
right
forgot.
now,
Druid things.
for right now, I'm thinking go over there and start looking for monkeys. Depending on what Iku says. If she turns out to be evil, if it turns out the woman is evil, whatever we decide is good context. But sooner or later, we're gonna have to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
What we do when we get over there, we can talk about it. But I mean, there's not that many options.
Yeah.
We could try to talk to them first. I don't think we should just fight them without provocation, but
because there could be 100 of them. If that's a fight.
Well, if there's 100 of them, that's a TPK. We fucked it up.
We're done.
But I mean, it's like, so let's not pick a fight, but we do need to go over there and see what we see.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean